JJ's got the keys to the blockchain breeze. He's live every day, decode the mazes. JJ's cryptic corner where the coins keep turning. Logging out, the future's burning. JJ's cryptic corner. JJ's cryptic corner. Pixels glow, charts flow, crypto whispers, secrets show. He cracks the code on this winding road. JJ's cryptic corner. JJ's cryptic corner. JJ's cryptic corner. JJ's cryptic corner. JJ's cryptic. Tune in, lean back, grab your coffee, hit the track. JJ's live, don't be late. Cryptic wisdom, seal your fate. JJ's cryptic.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome, welcome, welcome. Happy Sunday. How's everyone doing today? Guys, Bitcoin taking a little bit of a doo-doo today. Hey, what's going on, guys? Bitcoin currently trading at $94,792.95. We got some liquidations to the downside to hit for sure, but I wanted to keep those on there from yesterday just to illustrate that we are still in that little baby range. We'll just open YouTube just in time. Very cool, T-Stew. Nice. All right, let's see. Liquidation heat map, 12-hour Bitcoin. Kind of spicing up the altcoin market today, if I do say so. We've got 94,461. Yep. It's about to get real spicy. And then the bottom of that, we can go all the way down to 93,063 just to hit those liquidations. And then up top, we got potential for 95,860. And the very tippy top of the top, we've got 97,326. So cool. Let's see what happens. Are we going to actually break below and start liquidating some bulls? Or are we just going to get another one of these guys where we just boop and then rebound and stay range bound in between 94, 95, 96 for forever? We are rejecting our moving average on the RSI on the 4-hour time frame. We got a red dot on the momentum wave pointing to the downside. Money flow is positive though, so that's good. Other than that, quiet, definitely quiet. Altcoin market, not really enjoying the time today. Bitcoin dominance seemingly bouncing off of 59.5, which we were unfortunately tracking and estimating was going to happen. So Bitcoin is definitely going to still show, at least for the foreseeable future. We got a little W going on the RSI here. Potential break of that moving average. We'll see what happens. Green dot on the momentum wave. Again, I don't know if that applies to Bitcoin dominance in particular, but we're going to talk about it because it's there. ETH was doing really good today for a very brief period of time. It is up 0.14% and dropping. Currently trading at 33.15 and 21 cents. Are we going to hold 3K? Probably. We'll see though. We definitely got a potential for a BART here. We got a little inverse BART followed by a BART. Are we going to median out at around 31, 32? I feel like that's entirely possible for sure. RSI just got a bearish cross over the moving average, especially if we close in the red like this. Continuing to drop 33.13. Our momentum wave, we have a green dot from Saturday that's still in play. Our money flow also flipped green when that happened. But the price definitely is going down. That's for sure. So we'll see what happens in the short term. This volatility, in my opinion, is welcomed, but is it going to be just another one of these bad boys? A lot of big fat red candles there. that eventually were nothing burgers. Tishu said, are we bearish again? I don't know about bearish. I'm calling for volatility heading into Tuesday for sure. Monday, U.S. markets are closed for an observation of Martin Luther King Day. Tuesday, we got the market open. We got more tariffs. And there's earnings coming out this week. Big earnings. This week we've got Netflix, Interactive Brokers, and regional banks. And then there's Davos speech and discount rate meeting. So we'll see what occurs with all of those items. John Tujo said, we dumping? Yes, we are, my friend. We got 20 minutes remaining until the daily close contest, so make sure you guys stick around for that. It's going to be an eventful one for sure. ETH really not liking this. Sol is down 2.69% on the day, currently trading at 139.58. Definitely a short opportunity here. Are you about to experience a big fat black swan? It's looking... see, unfortunately, this is what happens. We get trapped in these very small ranges, and the candles are like microscopic. Then we get like something over 1%, and everyone's like, oh my gosh, it's going to be a black swan. And I'm guilty of that as well. So I don't know what to tell you. The market's boring, and then when it's not boring, I freak out a little bit because I'm bored. Look how much... Was my webcam normally this colorful? I kind of like it. You can actually see the red in my beard. Okay. 139.44 current price for Solana. Our support that we should watch, which, you know, if it doesn't get too spicy, this should actually try to hold, is 137.87-ish. We got, I'm going to call this a double rejection of 1-2 of our moving average on the RSI. And we're not quite reset, but we're getting down. Hold on one sec. I got a position that I would like to close because I'm in profit. Thank you very much. So yeah, we'll see what happens. Read that in the momentum wave from today. Money flow did just flip negative. We'll see if we end up getting a bounce or if we do cross bearish. Otherwise, chart looks good. It really does. We got to break above our upper trend line. Solana is one of the few charts that looks really, really good right now. Like, potentially worth loading up good, in my opinion. Not financial advice. I might put my laptop on the table right there, maybe. I don't know. I want to figure out where to put that so that I can trade this craziness. Because it does seem like fun. Okay. So yeah, market's looking spicy for sure. Sol oddly holding up amongst the rest. ETH bouncing. Bitcoin rebound. I'm not sure what's causing this, if I'm being completely honest. We're very close to liquidating some bulls. There's no news though. Like there's literally nothing. Because I checked. We got it's called Financial Juice, I think. Yeah. I think Tishu recommended it. Somebody recommended it forever ago. We signed up. There was a train collision in Spain. European Union. This was hours ago. There's really nothing. It's aliens. It might be aliens. That'd be really funny if aliens showed up and they're like, money is dumb. They just collapse the entire monetary system. They're like, you need food and shelter. Nothing else. That'd be awesome. all the people that like base their entire life around money, they're gonna be like, what do we do? They're gonna have like PTSD in like the post-monetary world. The family's gonna be like, do you want to play Monopoly? What did you just say? Anyways, Bitcoin, it's indecisive. It's indecisive. Right now, I'm getting this vibe for sure. But we'll see what happens. I'm like I said, I'm enjoying the volatility. Volatility is definitely welcome. Total 3 down 1.1% on the day. Currently trading at 881.24. I prefer a weekend dump to a weekend pump. I will say that. Because the weekend pump retraces every single time. The weekend dump makes me think something different's going to happen. John said, did you not see that news article? The European Union bank people talking about aliens? I did see that, yeah. JY's Adventure said, sub chat. What's going on, JY's Adventure? Guys, cheers. Happy Sunday. Glad to have you guys here. As long as the aliens don't wipe out my Wi-Fi, I'll be happy. Oh, delicious. Absolutely delicious. Okay. We've got a loss of our $883.6 billion level, which is not great. However, let me go to the weekly and get a little zoom out here. We got a couple of fractals that we were looking at here. And these couple of fractals, actually, I think they're both calling for upside, aren't they? We might be in trouble, guys. That one's going down a little bit. So these two very, very messy fractals. Oh, actually, no, they both kind of call for downside. I guess that's on a lower time frame. Let me go to the daily. Yeah, yep. So we got potential downside today, tomorrow, Tuesday. And then that Tuesday, we get a pop. According to the fractal, allegedly, not financial advice. Jay Wesley said, remember when crypto went up? No. Actually, do not remember that. I have very short-term memory, which I think you guys are aware of. And I don't remember. I do not remember a time where crypto went up. I will say, we are reaching a point where my investments are converging in value. And that's messed up because I've spent so much more time on crypto. But the amount of downside we've seen in the crypto market and the amount of dollar cost averaging I've distributed elsewhere is making my crypto bags look like worthless. John said heat maps look like we could hit 94K. They do, actually. They look like we could hit 93K. Derek said, sup, JJ? What's going on, Derek? JSU 2.0. Guys, don't forget to smash the like button. I appreciate you guys for being here. I have an announcement. I'm very excited to say this. We have officially, after like months in like 1,290 range, we have officially reached 1,300 subscribers. So you guys are all freaking legends. I thoroughly appreciate every single one of you guys. Tisha said, do you remember number go up? I do remember that because we like number go up. But I don't remember seeing number go up occur. We're still waiting for that to play out. Total 3. We got a very big, I don't think I like this. Yeah, I don't really like this trend line, so we're not really going to talk about it too much. I want to stay above 883. I think that's an important point of confluence, and then hopefully get above 900. 900 has been our big handicap this time around, so getting above that is going to be a big deal for the market. But for now, we witness the dump of 2026 probably. Have we had any big dumps? Yeah, I guess we've had a couple of decent size dumperoonies. ADA's down 3.32% on the day, currently trading at 38.41. Can we hold 38 cents? Maybe, maybe not. 38's been a very important support level for ADA. If it loses that, then it's going to get dicey. So we'll keep an eye on that. Volume could be better. RSI got a bearish cross over the moving average. Money flow is negative for a couple of days now. 3 days. We got red dot in the momentum wave pointing to the downside. Number go down. But these are the charts that you want to buy. Billy said, dudes, 1,300, we dumping. Yes, we are. Jay Wesventure said, congrats, JJ. Thank you, sir. Jay Shear said, the close might be the cherry on top of the ass cake. That is true. I had a big dump earlier. Did you guys see my thumbnail yesterday? I had no idea that this happened. And I was like looking at the views when I was getting ready to go to bed. And look at what it says. It's like, oh, shoot. I don't know if that's good or bad. Do you think somebody's going to click on the own ass video? It kind of makes sense because, you know, the way that altcoins have been performing, own ass checks out. You know what I mean? Made me laugh. That was a good one. Snack is down 4.26% on the day, currently trading at 0.0009. Can we get back above 1/10 of a cent? Hopefully. Otherwise, it's going to look like crap. And as far as I'm concerned, this should be the bottom of the bottom. If it goes lower, then this investment will be garbage, in my opinion. And I'm going to allocate funds elsewhere, which sucks because I love Snack. But you got to give money to the funds that perform. And this one is not performing right now. So I'm just going to let it be. I'm not selling any. I believe in the project long term. Short term, though, looks like shit. Midnight down 7.05% on the day. This also looks like crap. We lost 64, rejected, and are continuing to the downside. This thing is kind of doomed for 5, at least, potentially 4. And It's almost retracing its entire launch pump, which is kind of crazy. XRP is down 2.28% on the day, currently trading at 201.63. Big fat candle. This is down 1.83% on that 4-hour time frame. We've broken below and rejected 206. We're heading for $2 right now. Tishu John said I had a big dump earlier. 2Fix said, I've got to say it. We are all tired of winning yet. Yeah, for real. Derek said, we're blessed by algo gods. I was. Thank you. JY's Adventure said, guys, gold made another new all-time high. Crypto will follow for sure. I'm not being sarcastic. Oh yeah, I don't disagree. I think crypto will do good in time. Right now, it's not going to do good at all. Right now, it looks like crap. And it's going to probably continue to perform like crap as well. So, I'm going to capitalize on that by opening short positions. If you guys have not already, and you want to, it is degenerate gambling, so treat it as such. But if you want to trade leverage in the United States with no KYC, not financial advice, I'm not a financial advisor, use the link in the description for BitUnix and OurBit. There are benefits for signing up to both. If you need an on-ramp, Coinbase is down there as well. Robinhood, I'm iffy on them. We also have Kalshi. If you sign up to Kalshi and you deposit and start trading in prediction markets, we both get $10. With Coinbase, if you don't have a Coinbase account, we both get $35 in Bitcoin, which is pretty cool. But you have to like sign up and deposit and stuff. You have to follow all their requirements for that. But it's not much. XRP testing $2 as we speak. It's getting spicy out here, folks. Is this going to be a black swan level event? The trade war with the EU. Down 2.64% on the day. $2 is going to be a big level to test. H-bar down 4.38% on the day, currently trading at 0.11367. Losing 0.115. That was a big support level. That was the neckline of this. I'm going to call this inverse head and shoulder, inverse Mothman, bongo cat, whatever you want to call it. That is being lost as well. It's a high volume dump too, which is very interesting. SWE down 2.93% on the day. We were calling for a retrace on SWE and then just a repeat of what happened. This pattern, literally, this fractal is just this. So we'll see. Maybe SWE will be the market leader in determining the pattern for the next couple of weeks. We're looking at February for the next upside. Ondo down 6.85%. Ondo is definitely doomed for pretty monstrous downside, in my opinion, just based on this chart. It is technically breaching oversold, but I don't know. It looks really bad. 1, 2, you could make the argument for 3 has the downside, but there's no strength. Look at the volume is increased and it's still dumping. Like nobody wants to buy this. So maybe it'll reverse. Again, I'm in that recency bias point in my brain right now where I'm like, this looks like crap because no one will have bought any down here in recent times. So it makes sense that anyone that bought probably average up here is going to be down and it's going to feel bad. But usually if you believe in something and the price is down tremendously, you're going to probably want to buy it. Jay Shear said, gold and silver exploded right when we dumped. Did it? Let's go take a look. Silver's up 3.41%. $93.13. Yeah, silver is getting a little dicey, isn't it? In a good way. Let's go check gold. Interesting. I wonder what's happening. There's got to be something going on, man. Gold is up. Wow. That's a 1.62% candle on gold. $4,668. Is this the blow off top for precious metals? Curious. Very curious. JJ, can you look at Ralph, please? I'll look at Ralph in a minute. We'll might look at Ralph after the daily close. 5.9304. Started climbing back after strong pullback. Yeah, what is going on? DXY is dumping too. Huh. There's got to be something, man. There's got to be something. This is weird. This is really weird. Yeah, remind me in a few minutes. Monad. Farcoin's holding now. Let's see. Aerodrome down 6.57% on the day. Avalanche down 3.71%. Currently trading at 13.25. This is a 3.07% candle. Chainlink down 1.89%, 1350. I don't know what's going on. Okay, I'm getting messages from Coinbase now about how down the charts are. 93.2112. Let's go look at gold. Gold is probably the biggest crazy. Yeah, that's crazy. Why is the market doing this? There's got to be some kind of news or something. Let me see if I can dig and find something. Is this... There's no way that this is just the stupid aliens. By stupid, I mean the news itself is stupid. I love aliens, especially if they're real. Please don't kill me. Dollar extends fall against Swiss franc. Yeah, there's nothing, man. There's nothing happening right now. That is so strange. There isn't even like a market open that would trigger that. Greg said, ahoy, JJ and crew. What's going on, Greg? Greg, you got any insights for us? I know you usually got some good input. Tom Selleck scoped, teach you guys. What do you guys think is happening right now? Is there alien news? I haven't seen anything. Let me see. We're going to do a poll. Do you think we get an aliens announcement this week? Yes or no? Guys, direct your attention to the poll in the chat. Greg said, silver going nuts. COMEX silver futures to all-time high. Big money are cycling out of crypto into metals. That's pretty much what's happening. But it's not even crypto. It's like everything. The dollar's dumping too. We don't get stock market until Tuesday. I had a profitable day, so the market wants to take back my gains. That's why you don't force trades, man. You gotta take a step back, especially if you win. That I'm telling you, that 5% compounding, like, opened my mind. You really don't have to trade too much to win. I think Bitcoin's going down to 92. That's what I'm looking at. Because of the liquidations. Maybe not 92. Maybe it was 93. Yeah, I think somebody mentioned earlier that that liquidation heat map was pointing out 93, and I think I said 92. I believe I was mistaken. Reese said you're fired. I don't get paid anyway, so. Cheers, guys. 94,000 for Bitcoin. Officially liquidating some bulls. Bulls are being liquidated. Guys, not financial advice. Sometimes when the market gets a little spicy, a perma short is incredibly lucrative. And prints very nicely. Having said that, I'm going to close mine. Thank you. 93,899. Joe has eventually said there's nobody here in crypto. They can manipulate all they want. They're just kind of PvPing institution versus institution, that goes back to the whole, like, well, they can afford to sit there and wait. So, yeah, I've never actually witnessed anything like this. Like, we've seen big fat red candles, crazy liquidation events. October 10th, we've seen all of it. I actually missed October 10th entirely. I literally came home and I was like, whoa. Like, blew my mind. Like, to the point where I couldn't even, like, react emotionally. I was just like, wow. It was like a sight to behold. Philly said range rotation. I mean, we are definitely in a range, for sure. Let's actually copy paste this and see what it puts us at. Whoops. Yeah, that's definitely possible, Philly. And technically speaking, if we were to hold this range, we shouldn't go lower than like 92. Greg said, bad news. Expect Bitcoin to bottom somewhere in the mid-70s in the next month or so. Like craps. Hoping for a long roll, but expect a short roll. 70? Wait, why 70s? Guys, we got the daily close contest coming up in less than 1 minute, so get your guesses ready. Bitcoin on the 1 minute time frame. Ooh, this is going to be hard to track because those are big fat 1 minute candles. All right. Very cool. All right. You guys said no on an alien announcement this week. Really? What if the aliens straight up were just like manipulating all the prices? Like they show up and they hack into our computers and they're like, dude, watch this. You guys see what's the episode of Rick and Morty where he takes down the bad guys, the alien dudes, and he's like, watch as I dismantle an entire society by changing a 1 to a 0, and he changed the value of their currency to nothing. And they were like, oh my gosh, what do we do? And they all start like killing each other for their clothes and stuff. It's so stupid. Oh, daily close contest, ladies and gentlemen, get your guesses in for the daily close contest. Bitcoin currently trading at $93,828.87. Reese said, don't huff glue. Triple fired then. Joe West Venture said, bring it on. I'm numb to it at this point. There's nobody here in... Okay, yep, I read that. Reese said, what if the aliens were huffing glue? They might be. That'd be really funny. Aliens show up and they just start doing fentanyl. Everyone's like, the aliens are here. They're like standing in like the doorway of their ship. Just like doing the lean. It's so stupid. Greg said, I don't make numbers go up. They're in the chart, 75K-ish. I don't make numbers up. Okay, I see. They're in the charts. 75K-ish would be the April 25 low. I mean, I like that better than the people calling for 40. The people calling for 40 are nutcases. And 75 ain't far off from our 85 that we already touched, so who cares? Who cares, man? It's all just fake anyways. Look at this Bitcoin getting a pump, guys. Get your guesses in for the daily close contest. As anyone participating, you literally could win $300. Bitcoin, $93,932.49. Daily close contest. Greg said, yep, I read that already. Reese said, stop huffing glue. Are you good, man? Are you huffing glue? We've got J Shear 2.0, 94,111. We've got JY's Venture. $93,888. I'm gonna start just buying up all the RAM. Greg coming in with SAVCHUK, 93,850. Reese said it would suck if somebody actually won, because then you'd be out 300. I think about that all the time. I think it would be way better for like marketing, and even if it wasn't, that's a cool story. $300 ain't that much money. That Pulse player said, wow, what's going on with BTC? Aliens, dude. The aliens are huffing glue, doing fentanyl, and they actually have taken Greenland. That Pulse player coming in with 93,520. Tufik coming in with 94,001. Yeah, I like this big fat range. You guys don't know what to guess because the price is so volatile. Oh my gosh. This is fun. See, this is when the market gets fun, man. This is when the market gets fun. You guys have 2 minutes and 11 seconds remaining. Reset glue. John, $4.99. Welcome, John, $4.99. A lot of Johns, man. A lot of Johns. My dad's name was John. 94,399. I mean, my J's in my name technically stand for John, but that is not my name. My name is actually just 2 letters. Reese said they come to Earth to huff all the glue, industrial auto body glue. Not like model car glue? What would be the best glue to huff? What if it was like hot glue? They're just like, ow, it burns. This planet sucks. And they leave. And then the market's dumped because everyone thought that the aliens were going to pump their bags. Bitcoin, $93,839 and $830 and 1 penny. You guys got 1 minute and 15 seconds remaining to get your guesses in for the daily close contest. The rules are as follows. You guys see them on the screen right there. It is Price is Right rule. So if your guess at all is above the price of the close, then your guess is basically void. That's basically it. It is on the Binance USDT chart, by the way. It is very specific to that chart. So if you match on the Coinbase chart, you don't win anything. Unless that number is the same as the Binance one. 94,300 for Philly. It is also first come, first serve. No time for my word fun. I respect that, Philly. I respect it. Let's see. Let's see. $25 seconds remaining. It is up to you guys to keep track of the clock, by the way. If I say time's up in the chat, that means time's up. Doesn't matter to me if your feed is delayed. It is entirely up to the chat because the atomic clock. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for guessing. Time's up. We've got how many guesses? 7 guesses. Whoops. Let's get these bad boys up on the board. We are in the midst of liquidating the bulls. 94,399 for John. Welcome, John. Cumulative wins at the end of the year, even if you don't win any money, as long as you get the highest quantity of wins. 94,300 for Philly. Wow, that's embarrassing. You win a prize. Our last year, 2025 winner was Mr. Tyler Yetzer, 94,111, and he won a engraving kit, a hand engraving kit for his seed phrase. And it engraves. It was on a stainless steel plate. Like you get all the letters, and you can use a hammer to engrave your seed phrase into metal. That way, in case like your house burns down or something, as long as you don't get attacked by like hot lava, your seed phrase will be safe. We've got toothpick with 94,001. Very strategic guess there. We have had people lose by 1 penny on multiple occasions. I think it's happened like 3 or 4 times. 93,888 for JY's Adventures. Reset JJBJ. No, that is only for tier 3 channel members. I'm just kidding. It's actually my Patreon. I don't have a Patreon. All right, Greg Sovchuk coming in with 93,850. Nice little gap right there. And then Mr. That Pulse Player with 93,520. Right now, Bitcoin's getting a little dumpy. That Pulse Player is in the lead. Bitcoin currently trading at 93,672 and 5 cents. Reese, Greg said T-minus 4 minutes till daily close. Billy said daily clothes. Evan said hit the like button and share with your mom or I turn off the stream again. Evan did in fact rug the stream twice the other day, just in case you guys were not aware. He is anonymous. Like the entirety of Anonymous is just Evan. So to the FBI and CIA agents that are watching, you guys already know where he lives. And he's submitting a late guess for the daily close contest too. Clearly he does not attend the streams on a regular basis. That Pulse Play is still in the lead with his guess of 93,520 and a Bitcoin current price of 93,617 and 99 cents. Are we going to see any relief in the short term? You have 2 minutes remaining on the clock for the daily close contest. Literally yesterday watched Disturbia. It's free on YouTube right now. I have not watched that movie in forever. Such a good movie. Highly underrated. Highly recommend. Great flick for sure. Super spooky. Like towards the end I was like, dang. I watched this when I was like 12. Bitcoin 93,671 and 47 cents. We're getting a rebound here and price can pump fast when the market detects oversold status, which we have entered on at least a 1 minute time frame. 93,696 and 31 cents. Nice. JShoot 2.0 said all the work we put in this week just to close under one of the most important close we needed. Shake my head. I mean, it's just a weekly close, like random week in January. We'll talk when we get to the monthly. Guys, we have precisely 60 seconds remaining on the clock for the daily close. This is the candle that will determine the fate of our winner. Currently, that Pulse Player is in the lead. Our rankings, we have everyone who has won so far is in first place because nobody has won more than one. $93,675.24. That pulse play is not on the board yet. Are they going to be after this? 93.6, 93.7, 10, and 59 cents. We got 18 people watching, guys. Don't forget to smash the like button. I appreciate you guys for being here. 28 seconds remaining until the daily close. $93,686.39. That pulse play is still in the lead. RSI still oversold on the 1 minute time frame. It's going to be a crazy week, I think. We got earnings this week. We got Tuesday market open because of Martin Luther King Day. Here we go. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. There it is, ladies and gentlemen. Congratulations, that pulse play on your victory. The Bitcoin daily close price, 93,673 and 14 cents. 93,673.14. 93,673.14. Congratulations, my friend, on your victory, ladies and gentlemen. Spam the bananas in the chat for our winner. With this guess of 93,520. Very cool. Let's get back to the 4-hour time frame. It's getting a little spicy and dicey up in this bitch. We have so far begun liquidating everyone. No one is safe. Hide your wife, hide your kids. Bitcoin, $93,000 target. Oh, 92 actually. $92,000 target is in play. Let's see. Banana spam, banana spam. Very cool. All right. Yay! Congratulations, my friend. Let me add you to the winner's Google Doc. Okay. All right. Ladies and gentlemen. Oh, my bananas went away. What happened to my bananas? Can I get a drum roll, please? The winner of today's daily close contest with a guess of $93,520 and an actual Bitcoin daily close of $93,673.14 on January 18th, 2025. Mr. That Pulse Player's prize is a trifle cake. Congratulations, That Pulse Player, on your victory. Feel free to scoop this bad boy out with your hands. If you do not have a utensil, we do not provide utensils, but you can share it with your friends and family, your fellow competitors, your coworkers, your employees, if you own your own business. Whatever you do, you are legally obligated to remove this from the premises. Congratulations once again on your victory. Enjoy. I got a good story that goes along with this. Is this how much the price is down since the close? Good God. What is happening? This is an actual Black Swan event, guys. Holy shit. Whoa. It's happening again. Wow. I should have left my stupid short open. Was that it? To 92, 91, 928? No, we're going down further. Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo-hoo. It is getting spicy out here, guys. Okay, we're rebounding. $92, $5.49 and 41 cents. Right off the bottom of the range, perfectly. We got a little bit lower than 92K. Are we going to continue to the downside? Interesting. That pulse play is that October 10th all over again? It might just be. That was crazy. Israel nuked Iran. Is that true? That's not true. There's no way. Let's see. Gold reaches new all-time high. Yeah, I don't know. There's nothing, man. There's literally nothing. That rebound was quite impressive. That is a beautiful price rebound. 93.25 and 35 cents. Bounced right off our target of 92K. I might be a short-term trading genius. That's pretty good. Now, if it breaks below that, then I never said any of this. Evan said, Trump called and told me. That's not funny, Evan. 92, 977 and 70 cents. Let's go take a look at silver really quick, up 3.32%. Silver's not really moving. It got that little spike, and that was cute, but it hasn't done shit since then. Gold, on the other hand, this is crazy for gold. 4666, nice. Bitcoin, 93.84. Yeah, that was crazy, crazy jump off that. I have no words. 93.15 and 8 cents. I will say if they wanted to whiplash retail out of the space, they've definitely done that, like, successfully. Like, if I was new and I tried to trade that and I got completely shafted, I would leave. Like, we've had nothing this entire time, and then all of a sudden we get that. I would be so mad. This is why people think that the that the market makers target them. Because of shit like this. Wow. That's insane. I'm like baffled. Like, I wasn't expecting us to moon or anything, but I definitely wasn't expecting a crazy drop like that. That's huge. We've been getting those so frequently, though. December 1st, December 5th, December 11th, December 12th, December 15th, December 18th. These are big drops, man. December 29th, January 6th, and then this one started January 15th. It's just weird, man. It's weird. Definitely interesting to witness. Okay, silver up 2.8% on the day, currently trading at 92.53.70. Pretty crazy price movement here. We have no rhyme or reason as to why the market's reacting this way. It's pretty crazy to witness. Gold 46.68. This thing, just this candle alone, is up 1.59%, which is huge for gold. That's a ton of money. Let's see. Honestly, the RSI broke below the moving average, hit 50, and then instantly broke above the moving average. And it's getting ready to pump again. That's beautiful. There is, technically, I think there's bullish div here. It's faint, but this RSI did hit a lower point while the price hit a higher point. Reset, why would you close it? Why would I close what? Just trail the stop. I don't have time for any of that. I'm streaming right now. That pulse play on 93.520 is just short-term scalp anyways. Just for fun. Yeah, everything looks like doo-doo. Oh my gosh. Whoo, XRP lost $2. Hit 184. Wow. Wow. That's crazy. Yeah, silver's up 2.74. We got the ISM Manufacturers PMI. I believe February 2nd is when that gets updated. DXY got a little dump on that precious metals pump. MicroStrategy, aka Big B Coffee. We'll see what Tuesday brings for this bad boy. NASDAQ and S&P also. Oh, we got a gap down for the NASDAQ. Wow. Stock market futures are opened. Really? Is it a half day? I'm confused. I thought we weren't trading on Martin Luther King Day. 25,287.9. Big gap down. Big gap down. Now we were... I don't know if we were expecting this, actually. I think that we thought that we were here. So I guess technically, maybe we are nicely in line. I don't want to move that. What just happened? Hello? This just says the word crypto? Why is that there? Has that always been there? Am I crazy? What? I don't want to hit the trash button. Did I accidentally do that just now? Okay. Joe has eventually said I said another, like I said, another 10 incoming. I don't know if that's true. It might be. It's pretty crazy if that is true, though. Congratulations, that Pulse player, once again on your victory. Enjoy your trifle. That thing looks delicious. Don't remind me to tell you a story about this. Let's go take a look for JWA's Adventure at Ralph. On Dex Screener, Bitcoin 92,807 and 28 cents. Ralph is down 0.66 on the day. $24 million market cap. Does kind of look like it's flagging out, which is kind of crazy. It's funny how meme coins hold up better than the rest of the market. Is it's going to be a longer term kind of flag situation? It might just, this might literally just kind of die down because it is a meme coin. RSI looks good. Price looks decent. Yeah, just be careful. The red candles are definitely bigger than the green candles, so people are selling. That's for damn sure. That is for damn sure. Holder count's big. Yeah, see, people got big money in this thing, and they're taking profits. So be careful. Price looks good though. It's got potential. It's got potential. Daily, still no RSI data. Yeah, look at that daily. See, it's a little spicy. That's a reversal like sign right there. So be careful. Reset liquidity grab until go up higher. That could be it too. We are bouncing off that range low. Let's see, Bitcoin itself over here. The fractal's still intact, man. The fractal is still intact. It's a beautiful fractal. We'll see though, man. We will see. This might end up just being the wick. Oh, actually, we should have closed up here. Maybe the fractal is dead. We could wick though. Wouldn't that be crazy? Get above 100K in the next week. Everyone would freak out if that happened, especially after that dump. Oh my gosh, people are probably liquidating their positions as we speak. I'm so done with crypto. This is a scam. Pengu. Yeah, man. Silver. I'm hearing a lot about copper recently. People are talking about copper, like kind of tweaking about it. It's quite fun. Greg said, show JJ your support and hit that like. Yeah, guys, smash the like button. I appreciate you guys. If you subscribe, that would also be really, really cool. We talk about investing. And we got news segment coming up next. So if you want daily market updates, we do live stream every single day. It's been like that for every single day for over a year. I'm pretty proud of that. News segment. Quantitative easing is back in 2026, according to Bank of America. $600 billion net liquidity. Last time the Fed made this pivot in 2020, Bitcoin ran 1,600%. Alts massively outperformed, many doing 10 to 100x. Liquidity returning after quantitative tightening shifts the cycle from drain to expansion, which historically fuels sustained risk on moves, not panic bounces. Alt season wasn't canceled, just delayed. I agree. I think the Russell 2000 is the biggest indicator of this as well. Market cap. Yeah, let's go to market cap. Nope, I lied. Yeah, check it out. New, I don't know if it's a new all-time high. Definitely a local high. 2655.3. I don't know what the hell all these lines are. I don't remember drawing any of these. We had bullish div, which was a big one. And that bullish div absolutely sent it. Did we make the trade, though? No, we did not. We did not make the trade. Talked about that. Resistance, yep. So this was, or it should have been at least, a ascending triangle, which is usually bearish. So to break bullish out of this, and if we confirm that retest and continue to the upside, this could be a huge move. That move could be insane. Not financial advice, I really like that the RSI is reset to 50 and that we're holding above this upper trend line. Greg said the Fed is buying back their shit bonds. That should tell you something. Philly said stocks are dumping too. What the hell? Oh yeah, everything's taking a poop right now. Precious metals, man. Precious metals. It's the aliens. The European Union was right about the aliens. They're taking all of our money. Okay. Bull theory. The Russell 2000 index hit another all-time high and gave its highest weekly close ever in history. Why this is the best signal for altcoins. Russell 2000 is small cap US stocks, and small caps usually lead when money is ready to take more risk. When people are scared, they hide in large caps and cash. When risk appetite comes back, small caps are one of the first places money goes. Now Total 3 is sitting under its own big resistance zone. It already had a big move up into late 2024, then it corrected and has been moving sideways since late 2025. So the difference is simple. Russell has already broken above its previous all-time high and is now moving higher. Altcoins are still building below their ceiling, which is exactly what Russell 2000 did before breakout. This is why the Russell move matters. It tells you the market is willing to stay in risk assets for more than a few days, and if risk appetite stays, the next step is usually money moving from risk on in stocks to higher risk parts of crypto. This is when alts will have their own breakout, which could lead to new highs. All it needs now is that Russell keeps holding above the breakout level, and alts will be the fastest horse. Phil said, "Goddamn man, a year already?" Oh, it's been over a year. It's been over a year since September. Here we go again. 92,204. Bitcoin is a dumping. Are we going to hold this range, or are we actually going to lose 90K today? Very, very curious price action here. It's weird when there's no rhyme or reason for it. You know, I'm so used to the news cycle influencing the market so much that when there isn't something like definitively being like, this is why the market's dumping, then I get confused. Like, we've been consolidating, and I will say we did wait until Sunday afternoon, Sunday evening, which is what I always expect on the weekends. But a dump on a Sunday is interesting. We're going to have a CME gap. We are going to have a CME gap to the upside from Friday, and it's probably going to be right around 95K. Michael Saylor hints at buying more Bitcoin. Bigger orange. He's about to buy the dip. EU prepares up to $100 billion in tariffs and market restrictions on U.S. companies in retaliation to Greenland threats. Marty Party posted 4.76% of SOL is owned by Binance on behalf of their customers, 100% backed as of latest proof of reserves. U.S. regulated public companies now own more Solana than Binance at 5.06%. That's pretty impressive. Bessent said Europe is too weak. U.S. must take Greenland. U.S. Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent said President Donald Trump will not back down from acquiring Greenland, arguing Europe is too weak to ensure its own security in an interview with NBC Meet the Press. I wonder if, so hear me out. Let's go tinfoil. Are you ready? Let's say the U.S. did make contact with aliens, and we have this technology now that aliens are like, here, go take Venezuela. Use this cool sound thing and take the leader of Venezuela. And we were like, okay. And then we went there with the alien stuff and we did it. And then we were like, whoa, that's pretty sick. What else can we do? And they're like, take Greenland. Or maybe the aliens aren't telling us this stuff. Maybe they're just like, check this cool stuff out. And then Trump is like, we can do whatever we want. Because the aliens are literally like hooking us up with tech. What if that's what's happening? I don't know. It could be. That'd be pretty cool. It'd be pretty fun. Jay Shu said Kramer did say it was going to be a bad open this next week. He did, actually. That is true. That is very true. 92,550 and 32 cents. Silver still doing its thing. Up 3%. Okay, 92.85. Very nice. Yeah, this is interesting, man. This is the most eventful weekly close we've had in forever. Okay. Bessent Supreme Court unlikely to block tariffs. Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent said the U.S. Supreme Court is unlikely to overturn President Donald Trump's tariffs, calling them a core economic policy. U.S. stock markets and bond markets are closed on Monday, January 19th, in observance of Martin Luther King Day, Martin Luther King Jr. Day, I'm sorry. as it's a federal holiday. Regular trading resumes Tuesday, January 20th, 2026, with markets operating on their standard hours. So be prepared for that. France says a U.S. seizure of Greenland would fundamentally jeopardize transatlantic economic relations. The EU is making it clear that they won't back down on Greenland. Trump says tariffs won't drop off until the U.S. acquires Greenland. Buckle up. We got the tariff playbook playing out from the Kobayashi letter. If you guys haven't seen it, we can actually look at it. Let me just copy this. Copy link. Go back. Bam. Okay. Kobayashi letter's tariff playbook. President Trump posts a cryptic message signaling tariffs on a specific day. Then he announces a large new tariff. Saturday, Sunday, he doubles down. Over the weekend, the countries basically push back. Sunday evening, futures open. Stock market futures drop, and an initial emotional reaction on the tariff headlines. We have actually seen that with the NASDAQ. Big fat gap to the downside. I think. Maybe this happened already and I just forgot about it, but I'm pretty sure that's a gap to the downside. But Bitcoin's reacting for sure, and silver. Monday, Tuesday, Trump continues applying pressure. Wednesday, the same week, dip buyers step in, spark a relief rally, but the move fades and leads into another push lower. The following weekend, so next weekend, President Trump posts discussions are underway and that he's working towards a solution with the leaders of the countries targeted by the tariffs. Sunday evening, 6 p.m., futures open sharply higher as optimism returns, but gains fade into Monday cash market open. After Monday open, senior administration officials such as Bessent appear live on TV to reassure investors and emphasize progress towards a deal. Over the next 2 to 4 weeks, various members of Trump admin continue to tease progress towards a trade agreement. Trade deal is announced and markets hit new record highs. Repeat from step one. So basically, after next weekend, if we buy the dip, then we'll probably be in a good spot. According to this, we've actually watched it on stream play out twice so far. Like guaranteed twice, possibly 3 times. Bitcoin's still down 1.38% just on the day, which, mind you, we're only 21 minutes into Monday now, technically, for Bitcoin. The European Union is set to halt approval of a trade deal between the U.S. and EU after President Trump threatened tariffs on 8 countries supporting Greenland. EU lawmakers announced that an emergency meeting will take place in Brussels tomorrow regarding President Trump's latest tariffs. We are now on step 4 of our tariff playbook below. The next 48 hours are critical. This was posted 21 hours ago, so we got like 27 hours left. With the EU's emergency meeting scheduled for tomorrow, which is now today, we are now on step number 4 of our tariff playbook. We expect the EU to take an aggressive but open approach. They will threaten to cancel the EU-US trade deal while encouraging President Trump to negotiate. This is exactly the position Trump aims to achieve. U.S. futures will still open on Sunday at 6 p.m., but the U.S. market will not reopen until Tuesday due to the federal market holiday. This will lead to step number 5 and 6 of our tariff playbook below. Markets open lower and President Trump plays hardball. Ultimately, the road to a trade deal on the Greenland situation will be longer than recent U.S.-China bout. Why? Because an acquisition of Greenland can't happen overnight, and the EU remains highly opposed to even the idea of such a transaction. However, if history repeats itself, the sequence of events in the phase of the trade war will remain largely in line with our playbook below. History will repeat itself. Capitalize on it. Senate Democrats are planning to introduce legislation to block President Trump's newly announced 10% tariffs on 8 European countries who oppose the U.S. acquiring Greenland. We also await the highly anticipated Supreme Court ruling on tariff legality. So here's my thing. Tariffs in general, I think that the Supreme Court's going to be like, yep, those are good to go. But the, weird leverage to acquire Greenland tariffs might get ruled illegal because that's not a national emergency. And you can make all the weird subjective arguments you want of Europe being too weak and whatever, but the Supreme Court doesn't care. Tariffs being used for economic, issues to fix the country, it being an actual national emergency, whatever you want to call it. Sure. It's not a national emergency, us wanting to buy or make a trade deal or whatever to acquire Greenland. That doesn't make any sense. So they're probably going to, if I was a betting man, I would bet that the Supreme Court would shoot down these weird tariffs as a negotiation tactic to acquire land, like an entire freaking continent, is kind of crazy. France's President Macron calls for the EU to activate its most potent trade weapon against the US after President Trump tariff threats over Greenland. Macron is now calling for the use of the EU's anti-coercion instrument. If used against the US, it would restrict US access to the EU market, potentially blocking US banks from EU procurement and targeting US tech giants. This trade weapon has never been used before. That's kind of crazy. Key events this week. Write these down, take a screenshot, post them in your calendar, whatever you got to do. Number 1, stock market futures reacted to Trump's 10% EU tariffs tonight. That might have been actually what caused the dump, is the NASDAQ opening down that far. That's a huge dump. So that might just be it. That might be what caused it. Look at Bitcoin down. That's 59.8. Whew. Dang. And then silver got a huge spike because of that as well. So did gold. Let's go check out gold really quick. Yep. Wow. 1.72% up, 46.76 and 58 cents. Whew. Yeah, dude, they're just pushing everyone into precious metals. This is crazy. So much for digital gold, right? U.S. markets closed because of Martin Luther King Day. All of Monday, markets will be closed. Number 3, December pending home sales data comes out on Wednesday. 4, U.S. Q3 2025 GDP data comes out on Thursday. We also get November PCE inflation data. And then Friday, January S&P global PMI data. 10% of the S&P 500 companies report earnings this week. We have a short but busy week ahead. So lock in, pay attention, guys. Market's getting spicy. The bond market will be the ultimate signal. Over the last 2 weeks, Treasury yields have silently pushed higher. Soon, with the US-EU trade war resurfacing, we will see the bond market's initial reaction to the headlines. As seen in April 2025, a sustained push higher in Treasury yields is something the Trump administration does not want to see. If yields continue rising on the back of trade tensions, the bond market could be the signal of a potential pullback on tariffs by Trump. The bond market has a lot of markets answers. Cool. Billy said, good luck, Democrats. I don't know if it's going to be a Democrat thing. I think that the Supreme Court's just going to not like these specific tariffs. All right. I asked you guys, we got 16 votes. I asked you guys, do you think we get an aliens announcement this week? 56% of you guys said no. Interesting. Okay. Very interesting. Retail options activity is exploding. Retail options trading volume now reflects a record 21.7% of total market activity. The 21-day moving average of that volume has surged 10 points since 2021. This comes as retail call option activity is up to 8.2 million contracts per day, near the highest on record. At the same time, the put volume is up to 5.4 million contracts, the second highest on record. Combined options activity has doubled since 2022. Retail investors are dominating the market. The million-dollar question, what happens to silver? This is your reminder that silver just posted its best year since 1979 during the 2025 trade war, rising 148%. Bonds have been getting crushed and crypto remains highly volatile, solidifying gold and silver as the global safe havens. More uncertainty, less stability, and fragmented global trade are a safe haven's trade's best friend. Asset owners will keep on winning. You know what I have? My most valuable asset, I think, is my Pokemon cards. I genuinely believe my Pokemon cards will outperform the entire market, and they will continue to outperform at least my investments. That's just my opinion. Bitcoin 92,465, nope, 92,510. We were hovering at 95K for a long time. We bounced off of our lower trend line here on January 12th, and then from January 13th until today, January 18th, we dumped. Got a big fat dump. So 5 days of 95K. Back here, when we dumped, we kind of hovered down here for 4 days, 5 days maybe. So 4 or 5 days will put us at approximately, we'll just go 5 days. January 24th, Saturday, next Saturday. So we'll see what happens. The market starts to recover. Jay Shear said my kids are set just from the cards. Oh, for sure. Dude, I've been buying so much more. I have kind of an addiction. They put a little, they put a vending machine. I have not bought Pokemon cards since I was a kid. And they put a vending machine at my local grocery store. And every time I go in there, if there's some in there, I buy some. So I have a big fat stack of booster packs sitting on my desk that I haven't opened yet. And I like it. My fiance is like, you should open those. I'm like, no, I like having a big fat stack of them unopened. There's something wrong with my brain. Okay. Let's continue. Average price of ground beef in the U.S. is now up to a record $6.67 per pound. Prices have surged 72% since January 2020, when they stood at $3.88 per pound. Over the same period, chicken breast prices have risen 36%. Furthermore, coffee prices have surged 52% since January 2020, all while the other food category, which includes sugar, sweets, fats, oils, snacks, and prepared meals, has soared 31% over the same period. Food inflation remains far too high. The EU is preparing up to 93 billion euros in tariffs and other restrictions on U.S. companies in response to President Trump's 10% tariff and demands for Greenland. Expect a busy night ahead for tariff headlines. U.S. stock market futures open in 4 hours, and they opened down. U.S. venture capital investments in rare earth startups is skyrocketing. VC investment in U.S. rare earth mineral startups hit a record $628.5 million in 2025. This marks a near 3,000% increase from 2024. And this figure excludes government deals, including $400 million equity investment from the Defense Department in MP Materials in July. As a result, U.S. startups attracted 90% of all global funding for rare earth minerals last year. This all comes as China controls about 60% of global rare earth mining output and over 90% of refining capacity. The U.S. is rushing to reduce reliance on Chinese rare earth supply. Good. It's about damn time. China's credit crisis is worsening. New bank loans in China dropped 1.83 trillion yuan in 2025, or 10% to 16.27 trillion yuan, the lowest since 2018. This marks their second consecutive annual decline. China has been in an extended credit slowdown since early 2023, with the economy trapped in a deflationary spiral. Weakness has been driven by sluggish demand from borrowers, as weak consumer confidence and declining business investment have eroded appetite for new debt. China's 2008 moment is now. Here's my thing. The whole world runs on this debt money system. What are they going to do when we stop playing that game? Like, when everyone is just satisfied with working their 9 to 5, living in an apartment, and like being minimalists. And what if we enjoy just going outside and breathing air and having fun for free? And there's no consumerism and there's no money to go in their pockets. They're going to freak out. And I think that that's coming. And it's going to be freaking hilarious. Bond markets are frozen. The 30-day trading range for the 10-year note yield is down to 8 basis points, the tightest since 1972. This metric has declined 100 points since April 2025, when the 10-year note yield posted its largest 3-day increase since 1982. By comparison, the 2008 financial crisis peak was 175 basis points. At the same time, the 30-day range for the 30-year Treasury yield is down to 9 basis points, an all-time low. 30-day volatility for long-term bond yields has dropped 80 basis points since April. The bond market is ripe for a big move. Crazy. Bitcoin's 21% bounce looks like a 2022 style bear market rally unless $101,000 is reclaimed. That might be what we just experienced, guys. It might be. We are still technically in a bear market since we lost the bull market support band. The question is, how soon will we come out of this bear market? Is it going to be this year? Or is it going to be like late this year, like Q4 2026? Because Q4 would put us back in the realm of that traditional bull market. one thing Bitcoin has never seen before is a proper recession, like a genuine, real financial crisis. So if that's coming, then we're definitely going to see some new shit. That's for sure. 36.8 thousand Bitcoin has left exchanges since the beginning of the year. Trump goes after the Fed for lower rates as regulators crack down on crypto and finfluencers worldwide. That's actually crazy. Am I a finfluencer? Is that me? Huge. In 1 year, silver added 3.9 trillion to its market cap. That means almost 1.8x Bitcoin's market was added in just 12 months. That's crazy. There are over $18 billion in longs that would be liquidated if Bitcoin hits 77K. Whew, $18 billion. Market. Solana stables are up 12.76% in 1 week, according to yaphub.ai. That's pretty crazy. Strategy's website adds Bitcoin ranking. I don't understand. Philly said, could these new projected tariffs shift the focus of SCOTUS to rule against Trump? See, I don't think so. I think that they would rule for the tariffs in general, and then I think that they would issue a secondary opinion on these tariffs that are leveraging Greenland. I think that this would be a separate issue. Or maybe they'll specify that in their ruling. That's just my guess, though. They might rule against them in its entirety. I have no idea. Not a single ETH is waiting to be unstaked. That's pretty cool. Yeah, I was going to say that's bullish, but look at the market. You know what I mean? There's probably a lot of people trying to unstake right now. Look at that. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Wow. Completely ate that pump. The pump that we had on Tuesday, gone. We did an inverse BART and then a BART. That's crazy. So far, every Q1 following a red Q4 has been green. We'll see what happens. I'm sure, anything can happen. Hyperliquid's perpdex volume is more than Aster and EdgeX combined. I don't even know what EdgeX is. I would not trust it because it's brand new. I've never heard of it before. ETH hit a new all-time high on Friday with 2.88 million transactions processed in a single day. The all-time high is that transaction quantity, by the way. So that's pretty cool. Huge, nearly 80% of hacked crypto projects never recover because trust dies first. I fully believe that. Another reminder of the rare tech dev post. We are at the point in the business cycle where bullish divergence reversal momentum is decidedly building, which has signaled every one of its major reversals in the last 25 years, including after the year 2000, which is the dot-com bubble, and 2008, which is the financial crisis. What do you think about Bitcoin? Do you think this chart will work? Let's discuss that in the comments. And this is the chart. We've got 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, downside, downside. The retest is there as well. It all does check out. I'm not here to say, oh, this doesn't look the same at all, because it does. I would be stupid if, I would be literally lying if I said it didn't look similar. It does look incredibly similar. Is it going to play out this way? I have no idea. If it does, I don't know if we're going down that far, but we've seen crazier things. Bitcoin is the future. Bitcoin is worthless. Give me one for free. This one was good. Good meme. It's been a while since we've seen good memes. Then we've got Leo.Soul posting. I like sharing these because I enjoy observing people's different opinions. January, smart money quietly loading up. February, Bitcoin breaks structure and runs. March, rotation kicks in. Alts steal the spotlight. April, fresh Bitcoin all-time high around 215K. May, euphoria fades, textbook bull trap. June, heavy liquidations shake the market. July, sentiment flips, bear phase sets in. Save it. Let's see how close this plays out. It's cool. It's a good one. I like me a good chart. The big picture trend is still intact. Bitcoin remains within its historical growth curve, and a move toward the upper band, 800K to 1.8 million, is theoretically possible. That's pretty crazy. I do like it, though. It does make sense. Binance Smart Chain Gems Alert posted, this is by far the most bullish chart for altcoins. The falling wedge, which has been forming for over 4.5 years, is about to break out. 2026 will be the year of altcoins. We'll see if that happens. So far, we're just waiting. It's literally just been a waiting game. Mustache, bullish MACD cross on altcoins just happened. Every time Total 2 has made a bullish cross on the MACD, altcoins have always risen by nearly 100% or more. Let's see what happens. We do have a bullish MACD cross, though. Jess said, yo, what's going on, Jess? Plan B posted gold added roughly 10 trillion in market cap last year. It wouldn't surprise me if some of that profit is rotated / diversified into Bitcoin. And Cleo reposted that and said, from a pure percentage price gain perspective, Bitcoin will have a pump that makes what's happened with gold and silver over the last year look boring. I don't know if I agree with that. I would like to see some strength first, because so far it looks like everyone is leaving everything except for gold and silver, which makes opinions like this kind of embarrassing, in my opinion. The U.S. Treasury, we talked about this the other day. They tried to buy back their debt. There was some issue, I guess. They only bought back $210 million of their scheduled $4 billion purchase, so that's still kind of lingering. Philly said, we knew this was only a rally. AST Space Mobile closes at highest price in history. Prices now soared 400% over the last 12 months. Never heard of this, but I thought it was cool. Worth pointing out. 10-year Treasury yield hits 4.24%, its highest level since August. And they point out that the is in regards to something else. Where did they say it? I guess they didn't say it. Oh, they said it on their freaking... If you go to their page. Stock market hits highest level of greed since September. Pretty crazy. US dollar DXY closes at highest level since December 1st. Gold scores highest weekly closing price in history. That was 19 hours ago. Sell me this pen. Jim Cramer's bearish on it. This one cracked me up too. Warren Buffett, 1956, 100K, 2025, 150 billion. Crypto guys, 9 a.m., 100K, 10 a.m., $150. This one's good. That's a good one. Breaking. Apple has now traded red for 7 consecutive weeks. Its longest losing streak in more than 3 years. That's crazy. US dollar DXY has closed above its 200-day moving average for 7 consecutive trading days, the longest stretch since March. That is a little frightening. Emerging markets stocks have formed a potential inverse head and shoulders pattern against the S&P 500. And I think that is for the S&P 500, by the way. Philly said, JJ, you don't think we filled the October 10th wick? Didn't we fill it already? I thought we filled it already. Yeah, we filled that already. Philly, that October 10th wick only went down to 103K. Bitcoin filled that bad boy. Unless, hang on. Yeah. Yeah, that was filled. We're good. There's no filling required. It's been stuffed full. Oh, we got a couple more loaded in. Options traders are the most bullish on stocks in 8 months after the total put-call ratio fell to 0.7%. Crazy. Or whatever, 0.7, maybe not percent. We got a reminder of the Cleo Livermore chart, which I think relies on us staying above 75,000. And last but not least, Ash Crypto posted bullish $4.8 trillion Bank of America says the Fed and Trump will add $600 billion in fresh quantitative easing liquidity this year. This is massive. Now, the Fed gets replaced. Trump puts his own Fed in place in May. So, again, time in the market beats timing the market. I was watching or listening to Raoul Pal talk earlier, and he's talked about how everyone's trying to rely a little too heavily on trading and investing for an income. And that's not the way that you're supposed to look at it. He said these people come in and they wait, and then they think the 4-year cycle is going to happen, or altcoins are going to move, whatever. It doesn't happen. They get mad and they leave. Wealth is accumulated over time. It takes time. Sometimes you got to wait 3-4 years. Sometimes you got to wait 5, 6, 7 years. Sometimes you have to wait a decade. But if you could retire in 10 years' time, would you rather do that, or would you rather just not worry about it? You don't have to worry. You have no, the thought doesn't even cross your mind. And you just work 9 to 5 until you're 65 years old. Which one would you rather do? If you can mentally prepare yourself to not freak out when stuff like this happens, you are going to be in the best possible position, not only for investing in the future, but just for life in general. This should not bother you. Even if you got liquidated at that point, you need to learn from that and be like, maybe on the weekend, I should not be trading. Or maybe I should set a tight stop loss. Or maybe I should be trading with less money. Whatever you do, that's up to you. You know your financial situation more than anybody else does. Let's do a quick portfolio update. The 1K to 10K Grok portfolio is down 524, 52.4%. Solana is the best performer, down 20. Worst performer is Aptos, down 74. Wow, Aptos is gone. That thing is freaking doomed. 74%? Oh my gosh. That's crazy. Then we've got look at that cliff dive. Holy crap. The meme coin portfolio down, what is this even down? 611, 61.1%. The best performer is Pepe, down 92. Worst performer is GigaChad, down 166. Then we've got the narrative portfolio, my favorite, and the best performer, currently down 207, or 41.4%. The best performer here is Tau, only down 13. The worst performer is VeChain, down 61. This portfolio, in case you guys are curious, is made up of one meme coin, one artificial intelligence coin, one decentralized physical infrastructure coin, one real-world asset coin, and one gaming coin. That's kind of killing it compared to everything else. Then last but not least, we've got the knife catching portfolio, down 441. Yeah, $441, or 44.1%. Let's see. Best performer here is Chainlink, down 15. Worst performer is Avalanche, down 64. Jeez, that hurts, man. That hurts. And that is it, guys. Bitcoin, $92,860.02. This has been quite a monumentous stream. Let's end our poll. 58% of you guys don't think that there's going to be an aliens announcement. Start a poll. What do you think caused this dump? NASDAQ gapping down. NASDAQ gapping down. Aliens. Tariff / Greenland. Junk. Something else crazy. I don't even know, man. All right, guys, direct your attention to the poll in the chat. We're gonna stream for a little bit longer today, because the market is spicy, guys. The market is super duper spicy right now, and I don't know what else to do with this spicy market. I'm kind of at a loss. Philly said the October capitulation. Yes, we looked at that, Philly. It's been filled. The October capitulation only went down on Bitcoin to 103,000 right here. That's October 10th. And that was filled by November 4th, 5th. I meant we filled some of the October 10th altcoin wicks. Okay. Most altcoins probably filled those already. And if they haven't, then they're probably going to. Let's go look at Total 3. Total 3 October 10th went all the way. Yeah, that's been filled as well. So most of them, because Total 3 kind of tells us most of them have filled it. The ones that haven't probably are going to. Unless they're really, really strong. Like Tau might not. I don't even know if Tau dumped that much. Let's go check out Tau. Tau, October 10th. Okay, yeah, this might not fill. This went all the way down to 139, 140. For some reason, this coin is really strong, really bullish. So that might not happen. Look at this, even now. That's just a big fat wick. I want to ask Grok some questions. What happened to crypto and the stock market just now? We dumped pretty hard, and I'm not sure why. Is this just because of the tariff Greenland junk? Let's see what Grok says. Kobe SC letter have anything new published for us? We've got okay. Breaking. 1 hour ago, stock market futures officially open for the first time since President Trump announced 10% tariffs on 8 EU countries demanding an acquisition of Greenland. S&P 500 down 0.7%, Nasdaq down 1%, Dow Jones down 0.5%, gold up 1%, silver up 3%. It's going to be an interesting week. Guys, are we buying more precious metals? What do you think? Gold futures surged to a record high of 46.60 an ounce as markets react to President Trump's new 10% tariffs on EU countries. Gold continues to tell the future. Silver surges above $94 an ounce for the first time in history, now up another 31% in 2026. This historic run is accelerating. Bitcoin falls $2,000 in minutes as markets react to US-EU trade war returning. Bitcoin falls nearly 4K as 500 million worth of levered longs were liquidated in 60 minutes. Let's take a look at the liquidation heat map, get a refresher here. I mean, it's bouncing. Where's my mouse? There it is. Yeah. There's nothing left below. We got 56 million sitting at 93,450. It's Kwame said, I want to buy more, but it will dump as soon as I buy. That's entirely possible. We've got, what did I say? 93,450. 93,450. 93,450. It's Kwame. Is your YouTube name for Detroit? Because that's kind of hilarious. I'm going to go all the way up to here for the upside, 94,763. And then the downside, we've got, there's not much here, 91,983. And the very bottom of that downside, yeah, we really rejected that 50-week exponential moving average. 90,670. And I just want to double check that I didn't move the wrong one. This one is 93,450. And that is 93,450. Okay. So yeah, we're smack dab in the middle of liquidation points again. Guys, don't forget to smash the like button. I appreciate you guys for being here. Bitcoin dominance. Struggling to get back above 60, which is good. Because we don't want to lose too much footing in our altcoin sector. Let me go to total 2 really quick. Total 2. Yeah, that's a big dump. Nah, I know about Kilpatrick, but that's my real name. Oh, that's awesome. It's actually kind of awesome. I don't live far from Detroit, so it was topical. Okay, total 2. Definitely not doing anything remotely close to the fractal. I think we talked about scooting it before. I'm not going to do it, though. But if we did, that doesn't look too bad. It's always just an idea, though. We have a million fractals on a million different charts, just for fun. Right now, though, we are range bound. As long as we're holding above 1 trillion, I'm happy. We got below it for a while. It was really dicey. We're staying above it, though. And we kind of got a range right here between 1.17 and 1.32 on total 2, so I'm happy with that. Total crypto market cap looks good, man. This looks great. We just got a sideways accumulation until further upside. And that sideways accumulation, this might not happen this way. This is also an idea. It might just do this, which would be equally as hilarious. Just sideways chop very slowly up and then a pop towards June, July. I don't know. That might not happen either, man. It's all entirely up in the air. ETH up, or not up. ETH down 2.11%. Freaking moon. You were the stupid moon. There's so many lines on this stupid chart. I want to clean up these charts, man. This is a mess. 32.14 and 64 cents. Yeah, even with that big dump, ETH looks really good here. Like, the dump is scary when you're zoomed in. Gourmet Brand said I'm tapped out. I could swap some of my positions in the green, but I don't know, not getting emotional or FOMOing. You gotta do what you gotta do, man. So I've done this in the past. I'm not gonna do it right now. I'm not feeling it right now. But when I feel really down, when I feel really bad about my bags, you feel bad because you keep putting money into it. You keep putting money into it, and you get nothing in return. The price goes down, so you just feel like you're throwing your money away. Sometimes, if my bags are really, really down bad and I feel like shit, even if I DCA'd on Friday, I'll take like $50, $100 out. I'll take the family out to dinner, or we'll go to the movies, or I'll buy something for myself, whatever. I'll take something out of the market. And yes, it creates a taxable event. You know, I'm an adult man. I know how to do my taxes. But it makes me feel better because you feel like you got something out of it. That's a good, like, psychological reset for me personally when the market's really crappy like this. And then if I'm really feeling bad about it, I'll decrease my dollar cost average for that week. And I'll allocate it to something else like silver or gold or stock market, you know, whatever you want to do. Or maybe none of those. Maybe you just don't want a dollar cost average. Maybe you skip a week and you put it in a savings account or, like I said, buy something for yourself. You're allowed to be tapped out. You're a human. You're allowed to be tapped out. You're allowed to be sick of this because the market does kind of blow right now. It's totally reasonable to take a step back, take a breather, take a break, man. What taxes? That's quite appropriate for your name. Silver up 3.56%, currently trading at 93.28. Gold. I really want copper to go up. People are talking about, they're like, oh my gosh, copper. And I'm like, I like copper. I don't know. There's something, the underdog narrative really tickles my brain. $4,673.61. I have asked you guys, what do you think caused this dump? And it's split right now between tariffs, Greenland junk, and aliens. We got 9 votes at the moment. Don't forget to smash the like button. If you guys are new here, please consider subscribing. We stream every single day. It's a ton of fun. There's literally a chance for you to win up to $300 every single day during the streams as well. It's a fun time. It really is. And we're starting to branch out more and more into just general investing content and making money, man. Just making money. Side hustles and stuff. I think I really want to do a series where we do side hustles and figure out which one's like the most lucrative, which is going to be, you know, to my local area, but still. It's Kwame said, sometimes I think about taking my profits from XRP, but I've been holding so long, I want to see if it unfolds this year. It definitely seems to be going good. XRP is one of my favorite stories because so many people talk crap, dude. They were making jokes. They were like, XRP army. And, you know, I made jokes myself. And it just exploded, dude. It was one of the best performers, probably the best performer of 2025, 2024. And it made everyone just look stupid. Look at this. Look at this beast. This monstrosity. It went from 53 cents to $3. And now it's lingering at $2. That's even that pullback. Even that 33% pullback is impressive. Like, this is a beautiful chart, dude. The story's hilarious because you know so many people were pissed. Why is XRP? LOL, that scam is pumping. And they just continue to say that. They probably bought at the peak. Oh shoot, I better build a bag. I didn't know. I was just making jokes because everybody else was making jokes. I didn't know that it was like not a scam. They got all these excuses. It's just cute, man. It's adorable. Kwame said it wasn't looking good for XRP for so long. I know, dude. XRP is the greatest example of patience paying off. It really is. Like, this chart down here, way down, like, this looks awful. This looks so bad. It's like a gradual climb. Let me get like a clean chart that I can actually draw on. Yeah, this like, it had a good year, and then it just sucks, and it sucks for forever. And then out of nowhere, it just explodes the upside. And sometimes that's how it goes. Look at the volume. The volume is gone. There was no volume here, dude. This thing was stuck forever, just ranging in between 40 and 80 cents, if you're lucky. And it just blew up. Gourmet Brand said, I hear that for XRP. There's so much bullish news and worldwide approvals. Something is brewing. Atish said, Jordan said he could see $5 XRP after the pump. What happened? What do you mean? What happened to $5 XRP? It's going to take another 890 days is what happened. No joke. Like, this is going to probably piss a lot of people off, but I'm doing it. What if this is happening with XRP? What if it does this? That would suck so bad. And you got to wait until I can't even see when that is. You have to wait until 2028. Honestly, that actually kind of checks out with the current state of the market. That'd be crazy. I think my Amazon Echo is going off in the living room, which is really creepy. I don't think anyone's home. I have to ask my fiance. This is so creepy, bro. I don't really have anything to defend myself. What if somebody broke into my apartment for my crypto? I'm poor. Please leave. I just heard it talking. I think it said my name as well. It might have been a reminder. What time is it? 8 o'clock? Okay, it might have been a reminder. That's so creepy, though. That was so creepy. Okay, I think it was a reminder. Damn. I was about to walk out there with a stick or something. Right? Tishi said, what's 2 more years, I guess. For real, dude. I mean, we're already in this deep. And that's my other thing. Like, if it's really that bad, where the hell did the freaking trifle go? If it's really that bad, and the market sucks for forever now, why can't we just leave our money in there and then move on? Like, we go somewhere else. Let's go invest in stocks and precious metals. And then when crypto blows up in, 2-3 years, we'll be like, oh my gosh, I still have all my bags from back then. And then we suddenly have like a surprise 20, 30, 40, 50 grand, maybe 100. And you just feel amazing because you're like, oh my gosh, I completely forgot about crypto. I'm not saying that we should do that, but if you feel burnt out and you want to step away, then do that. I personally will never be selling my bags. I will watch them go to zero before I sell them. It's Kwame said, I know you probably get asked this a lot, but do you think we are still in a bull run or cycle's over with? Okay. I think that we are in a bear market for sure. We crossed over the bull market's upward band, but I don't think that the 4-year cycle is intact at all. I think the 4-year cycle is done. Whether or not we enter a 5-year cycle and this is the beginning of the bull market, or we are in maybe smaller bull markets, I have no idea. Blockchain Brew said, you know why the market's dumped? It's either aliens or Greenland. One of those two. But my money's on aliens, because I think that would be the more fun outcome. Imagine the aliens show up and they're like, we brought GTA 6. And everyone's like, yeah! And then they solve world peace. Or they bring world peace and solve world hunger. With GTA 6. That would be crazy. Dude, when GTA 6 comes out, I'm just going to become a gamer. Full-on gaming channel. Total 3 down 1.57% on the day. Silver up 4.26%. It is pumping. 93.89. Guys, what if we just bought a silver bar? How much is a bar of silver? Like a 1-pound bar. 16 ounces. That'd be $1,600, probably more. That's awesome. I can't imagine how sick that would be to have a bar of silver. I just want a bar of something. I've been looking at bars of copper. Like, I have a 1-pound little, it's like a flat thing, but like a trapezoid bar, like in the movies, man. Blockchain Brew said, nope, I sold my Bitcoin. It's Kwame said, buy it back. Yeah, dude. Wait, let me open up a long first. Bitcoin. Oops, did I click on the wrong thing? There we go. Yeah, man. $92,632 and 49 cents. RSI is not even oversold on the 4-hour, which is kind of crazy. People are going to be mad about that too. 50% of you guys think aliens are the reason the market dumped. 42% said tariffs and Greenland junk. 8% said something else crazy. I don't even know, man. Gourmet Brand said buy it back. Gap to the upside. Blockchain Bruce said I have 110 pounds of 1981 pennies I've collected. Nice. That's awesome. I have a bunch of wheat pennies. And not pounds, though. That post play said it dumped because the market makers set us up. The powers that be. Wintermute and CZ, damn them. 12-hour liquidation heat map. Yeah, dude, this looks dried up. It's boring now. Okay, the sharp drop you're seeing in crypto and U.S. stock futures this evening appears directly tied to President Trump's recent announcement of tariffs on several European countries amid his renewed push to acquire Greenland. What happened in the markets? Crypto, Bitcoin Flash dumped from 95 to 92.5 in a short period, triggering significant long liquidations, hundreds of millions wiped out. The broader crypto market cap fell 50 to 80 billion. Wow, with altcoins and meme coins, wow, hit harder. Ethereum down 1.8%. Stocks, the U.S. equity futures slid. NASDAQ futures down nearly 1%, with global markets showing risk-off moves ahead of Monday's open. It's not Monday open, it's Tuesday open, but okay. European stocks are expected to face pressure. Safe havens up, like gold and silver, rallied sharply. The trigger, tariffs over Greenland. Yes, this lines up exactly with the tariff Greenland junk you mentioned on January 17, 18, 2026. Trump threatened, and sources described as announcing/planning 10% tariffs on goods from 8 European nations, including Denmark, which oversees Greenland, Germany, France, and UK, and others, effective February 1st, potentially rising 25% by June. The tariffs are framed as pressure until a deal is reached for U.S. control or acquisition of Greenland, which Trump calls a national emergency for strategic reasons, Arctic positioning, rare earth minerals, countering China, Russia. Europe has responded strongly. Emergency EU summits, threats of retaliatory tariffs, protests in Greenland and Denmark, and warnings of dangerous downward spiral or renewed trade war. Markets hate uncertainty around trade wars, and that usually disappears, if we're being completely honest, especially on weekends when news drops and liquidity is thin, leading to amplified sell-offs in risks assets like crypto and equities. This isn't the only factor floating around. Some lingering regulatory stalls in U.S. crypto bills, but the timing sentiment on X trading discussions point overwhelmingly to the tariff news as the catalyst. Short-term volatility likely continues into Monday, but these weekend dumps often see partial recoveries if no escalation follows. Okay, does Trump want Greenland because aliens are real and he wants to be closer to the top of the earth where their entry exit hole is? I don't actually believe this, but I've seen some recent ideas of the hollow earth theory, and I'm like, wow, that actually, it's mapped out like the magnetic poles, and the hole would be like the magnet. And I was like, whoa, what if that's real? Because that dude from, Christopher Columbus times that sailed to the edge of the earth, what if he just saw the hole in the top of the earth? And Greenland is the closest landmass to it. I'm just saying. Let's see what Grok says. Maybe Grok knows. The EU, the weird bank situation, the lady in the EU that was like, the US is going to announce aliens, so we need to prepare for financial instability. If if aliens exist and the world goes to some weird realm where no one knows anything, why would money matter? You know what I mean? You need skills at that point. Aliens are real. You need to learn how to hunt, fish, and build shelter. If you think that some weird financial crisis is going to be caused from the aliens, it's weird to think that money markets won't just always go up forever. sometimes you have long-term downtrends in between, but that's like a little blip on the chart. Every single chart goes up over time, as long as it's not a scam. That Pulse Player said it dumped because the market maker set us up. Manny Vera said sold out of the market. See you boys later this year. The 4-year cycle wins. That might be true, my man. That might be true. October is allegedly going to be the bottom. We will see. Blockchain Brew said smash that like button and subscribe to one of the greatest YouTube channels out there. Appreciate you, Blockchain Brew. Guys, go check out Blockchain Brew. JWS Adventure said you need guns and ammo. We don't say that on YouTube, though, because YouTube doesn't like that. We own 0 guns because we're little weenies. And we don't have any gold or silver or investments or any food or shelter or anything like that. We have none of those things. Because those are not what a compliant, well-mannered member of society does. We are very much in full cooperation with the law. And we have faith in humanity. And we don't think that the world is ever going to end. And as soon as we're told what to do, we do it. Bitcoin, $92,741.54. Let's go check the liquidation heat map, see if anything's changed. Let's see what Grok said. No, there's no evidence whatsoever. What are you talking about, Grok? That Greenland is tied to aliens, UFOs, or any supposed entry exit hole at the North Pole. This is straight denial. You can influence Grok so easily to say what you wanted to say, and it's just like, no, there's no aliens. Don't look into it. You son of a bitch, I'm sending the agents to your house right now. They're clearly trying to cover this up. Trump has occasionally commented on UFOs, calling some videos interesting, but saying he's not a strong believer. He's never linked them to Greenland. This seems like internet speculation mixing. What do you mean? I didn't just make that up when I was asking you. What are you talking about, bro? Let's get a clean slate so that Grok doesn't think that we're... Saeed said hi. What's going on, Saeed? Guns for us or the aliens? Probably for us. I think the aliens would just melt our guns or something. ETH up or down 1.95%. Sol down 2.54. Ooh, uh-oh. Oh my gosh. What happened to Solana? Holy shit. When did this happen, bro? We gotta extend our neckline down. Ooh, that is spicy. Have we seen anything like this with Sol yet? Yes, we have. Okay, hang on. So, back here, we had a initial break and then a return supported the neckline and continuation. Maybe that's what's happening? I don't know. It's definitely consolidating. If we really zoom out for Solana, now, TA is going to be thrown out the window for the foreseeable, next 2 weeks because of the tariff trade war situation with... I hate that that's such a common sentence, the tariff trade war, because it's so overused at this point. It is the art of the deal, though. Trump's just doing what he's always done. And like the Kobayashi letter said, this might just take longer because it is the acquisition of a gigantic piece of land. We're not talking like, oh, trade deal with China because we don't want to pay that much money for crap or some junk, Like, we're talking about acquiring a portion of the earth. So, I don't know. I will say, though, our biggest advantage in all of this is midterms. Midterms are approaching very fast, and Trump wants to buy our vote. So he's going to cap credit card interest. He's going to make homes affordable. He's going to probably maybe print money to hand out stimmies. I'm just saying. We might get a bunch of money very quickly here because they want to buy our vote for midterms. And if the market's going to dump like this, he might have to backpedal until post-midterm. I don't know why he's in such a hurry to buy Greenland. It's just odd to me. Let me actually ask Grok. See if Grok knows. Why is Trump in such a hurry to acquire Greenland? Like, I understand why he wants Greenland from a strategic standpoint, but why does he need it, like, right now? What is happening so quickly that he's, like, really going all in on this? Kwame said, what's going on with the Supreme Court? They're just kicking can down the road. I don't think anything that they're going to announce is going to be tariff-related soon. They might announce stuff with Trump cases, but nothing, I don't think anything's coming soon. I actually have Kalshi bets that they're going to rule in favor of tariffs. That Philly asked about this. My only concern now is that the tariffs being used to like leverage Greenland acquisition might throw a little bit of mud in the water. Whereas they were going to rule in favor of tariffs before, now they might be like, well, this is a little frivolous. You know, you're allowed to do tariffs for national emergency, but you cannot use tariffs to like try to shoehorn ownership of Greenland. That's a no-no. You know what I mean? That's my guess. Jay Wesler just said Ralph will single-handedly protect me from this. No, I don't even look at my portfolio anymore, man. I'm at this point now where I'm buying other crap. Kwame said they were so against it last year. I see. If that was the case, though, why wouldn't they have announced it already? They keep kicking the can down the road. Shouldn't they come out and be like, yep, no tariffs, no go? Every single time they're about to, they're like, well, we're gonna talk about it next time. Maybe. We'll think about it. If they were so decisive on it, then I feel like they would have said it already. Intensified his push for Greenland in early 2026, framing it as an urgent national security priority. He argues that the United States must gain full ownership of the Arctic territory, currently an autonomous part of the Kingdom of Denmark, to prevent Russia or China from dominating it. Reason? What? Wait a minute. Why would we do that? But we're like encouraging Canada to like make a deal with China. How does that make sense? I don't know. I smell bullshit. Key reasons: geopolitical competition in the Arctic. Trump has repeatedly stated that Greenland is surrounded by Chinese and Russian activity, including ships, and that if the U.S. does not act quickly, adversaries could seize influence or control. He emphasizes that current lease agreements, Pitufik Space Base, that's a fun name, are insufficient. Full ownership is needed to properly defend it. Okay. Strategic location, emerging opportunities. Climate change is melting ice, opening new shipping routes. Northwest Passage, and making Greenland's vast rare earth minerals, uranium, and other resources more accessible. Trump views it as a narrowing window to secure these assets for U.S. interest before competitors do. Military and missile defense needs. The island's position is seen as vital for North American security, including potential development of a Golden Dome missile defense system. Trump has tied it to broader defense of U.S. homeland. Recent actions underscore the sense of urgency. Trump has escalated pressures by announcing 10% tariffs on 8 European NATO allies. Unless a deal is reached for the complete and total purchase of Greenland. Where are we going to get the money, dude? They're going to print that much money? It's ridiculous. Pump my bags. Tired of winning, man. So tired of winning. Kwame said, so maybe Trump is using Greenland as leverage for tariffs? Leverage for tariffs? I don't know, actually. I see my argument there is the opposite, actually. I think that it would be a bad thing for the Supreme Court to look and be like, well, he's using this just to acquire Greenland, because the argument that Greenland is needed for national security is a little more subjective than anything else. The national security of our dollar and all this, I don't know. You'd have to look at all the arguments. It's kind of a mess, if we're being completely honest. Is this likely to make the Supreme Court against tariffs, since Trump is throwing them around as leverage for seemingly for what seems like monetary gain at the end of the day? Let's see what Grok says, because it does seem like he just wants Greenland for money. You know, the stupid shipping passage, the minerals, you know, like you can talk Golden Dome all day. We don't have Golden Dome right now, and he's always used to talk about how safe we were and there's nothing anyone can do to touch us. We don't fucking need Greenland for Golden Dome. I just don't believe that. Sorry. Okay, let's see. Grok's taking his time. Bitcoin really is just sitting here, man, doing nothing. Whole lot of nothing. NASDAQ, S&P. So, according to Kobayashi letters, little game plan. They said we're on step 4. Let's go to their thing right here. So they think over the weekend the countries will be targeted tariffs will respond publicly, signal willingness to negotiate. Sunday, futures open, gap down. President Trump continues applying pressure. Investors begin to recognize that the tariffs are not yet live and still scheduled to take effect weeks later, such as February 1st. By Wednesday of that same week, dip buyers step in. So Wednesday, dip buyers should step in. Then we're probably going to retrace some more. The dip's not going to get bought up strong enough. And then Sunday, next Sunday, or I guess next weekend, President Trump post discussions are underway. And then Sunday, futures gap up. Monday, everything gets better. Gains fade. Monday open, everyone's positive. And then the next 2 to 4 weeks, everything calms down and gets better. Huh. So Bitcoin is very strongly tied to the stock market. It is, in fact, not at all digital gold. I would like to point that out because that was the biggest selling point. Everyone's like, Bitcoin is digital gold. It ain't. Gold is up 1.56% on the 4-hour time frame. Bitcoin is down 1% on the 4-hour time frame. So they are very much not the same. Grok said, no, it's unlikely that Trump's use of tariffs as leverage to pressure Denmark allies, blah, 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 would fundamentally turn the Supreme Court against tariffs in a broad sense, or lead to a wholesale rejection of presidential tariff authority. The president's power to impose tariffs stems primarily from congressional delegations such as Section 232, the Trade Expansion Act of 1962 for national security threats, okay. Section 301, the Trade Act of 1974 for unfair trade practices, and the International Emergency Economic Powers Act for declared national emergencies. Courts, including the Supreme Court, have historically shown strong deference to executive claims involving national security and foreign policy. Challenges to pass Section 232 tariff on steel and aluminum during Trump's first term were largely upheld, with judges reluctant to second-guess the presidential determinations. Ongoing Supreme Court case. As of January 2026, the court is considering a major challenge to Trump's broader tariff regime, particularly those imposed under IEEPA for global reciprocal duties justified by trade deficits or economic threats framed as emergencies. Lower courts have ruled against some of these, finding IEEPA does not explicitly authorize tariffs or that the emergencies are pretextual. Oral arguments in late 2025 showed skepticism from justices across the ideological spectrum, raising issues like non-delegation, statutory interpretation, and whether trade imbalances qualify as true emergencies. I mean, personally think that that's a fair emergency, but that's just me. A ruling against the IEEPA-based tariff is possible, potentially limiting broad emergency uses, but analysts note delays in the decision could signal a split court or a narrow outcome for favoring the administration. Even if parts are struck down, fallbacks like Section 232 remain available for national security-framed actions. Greenland-specific tariffs. The Greenland-specific tariffs, 10% escalating to 25% on select NATO allies, are explicitly tied to national security, Arctic strategic control against China-Russia, but used as overt language or leverage for a territorial deal. This could invite challenges arguing pretext, i.e., the real aim is territorial economic gain, access to resources, rather than genuine security. Such arguments are already surfacing in the broader case. That's what I'm thinking. However, proving pretext is difficult as courts rarely probe executive motives deeply in foreign affairs/national security context. The monetary gain aspect, U.S. benefiting from Greenland's mineral position, is national, not personal, and aligns with historical territorial acquisitions justified on strategic grounds. Overall likelihood, this tactic might bolster pretext claims in ongoing or future challenges, potentially leading to limits on abuse or non-emergency uses of IEEPA, but it is unlikely to provoke broad reversal on tariff authority given deference traditions on and the court's composition. Experts predict the court is hesitant to fully cripple a president's core economic foreign policy tools. If anything, a loss on IEEPA would push reliance on more differential statuses like Section 232. Okay, so do you think SCOTUS will rule in favor of Trump's tariffs? Let's see. It's Kwame said, maybe Trump, yep. JY's Avenger said, you know what's crazy, JJ? Even the market conditions, there are people trading on chain and making six figures still from 100 to 300K. There are some amazing people in the world. I try to be as good as them, but boy, is it tough. I like Kalshi for those odds. We've done the compound trading calculator. Let's actually do that again. I'm going to do compound trading calculator just for Kalshi specifically. Compound interest calculator right here. So let's theorize here. I have a Kalshi account, let's say, and I have like $50 in it. So initial investment is $50. My interest rate is, I'm going to say weekly. Let's say I'm betting on if Bitcoin is going to close the week green or red, because that is an option on Kalshi and Polymarket, and the odds are usually 50%. So compound frequency is going to be weekly as well, isn't it? And we're just going to do it for 1 year. So 52 weeks. I have $50 initially. After a year, if I make all the right moves, 52 correct bets on Kalshi, that yes, Bitcoin is going to close the week red, or yes, Bitcoin is going to close the week green. It's usually about 50-50. If I double my money every single time, okay, hold on. Let me figure this out first. $50, 230. That's not correct. Hold on. I have $50. Interest rate is 50% weekly. So that would be 75 after the first trade. Oh, that is right then, actually. Non-calculate. Yeah. Oh my god. So 50 to 75, and then 75 would be times 1.5. Hang on. Let me do some math here. 75 times 1.5. 112.5 times 1.5 is one. Okay, so this is not right. Hang on. I don't know how to figure out the actual calculation. It would be about 50% a week, and then compound frequency would also be weekly, would it not? What if I do daily? Yeah, that don't make no sense either. I don't know. It's Kwame said, don't give me any ideas. I'll figure out how to actually freaking calculate that. Basically, if you make a 50% trade in the right direction, your $50 turns into $75. And then week 2, you have $75 now. Hang on. You have $75, and then you win a trade. You have $112.5. Week 3, you do the same thing, times 1.5. You have 168. Week 4, you have 253. Oh, so that was right. No freaking way. Hang on. If it compounds weekly, 253, 239. I don't understand. Breakdown, choice, monthly or yearly. That doesn't make any sense. There's no way. After $50 compounding 50% a week after 52 times would not be $71 billion. There's no way. I don't think that that's true. Bitcoin's really struggling here. 92, 621, and 96 cents. Okay, Jay West Avenger said, yep, I read that already. That Pulse Player said those traders use leverage, and there's 3 things that destroy men: 3 L's, ladies, liquor, and leverage. Saeed said, I too like cashews. Did I say that? I've actually been eating trail mix. The protein makes me eat less throughout the day, which allows me to lose weight because I've gotten very fat recently. It's Kwame said, don't give me any ideas. Well, if you do have any ideas, it's Kwame. If you sign up for Calcio with my referral link in the description and you deposit and start trading, we both get $10. So, do treat it like gambling though. Don't lose your money. Gourmet Brand said 50% a week. That's high. That's Calci though. With Calci, if you're betting on Bitcoin, let's say it could be Bitcoin, it could be anything. But if it's a 50-50 chance, you basically are buying shares at 50 cents a piece, and if you win, you get them all back at $1. So you're actually doubling your money. So maybe it's 100%. Is it 100%? No. Is it 100%? I can't, guys. My brain hurts thinking about the possibilities. That Pulse player said just go play Baccarat or Roulette. Don't promote risky gambling. I'm sorry. I already made an account. Oh, damn. Damn. Get out of here then. There's no use in you even being here. I'm just kidding. So the guy, I literally get paid nothing for being like I'm suddenly at some deficit. Joe Adventure said, Plus player, have you been in crypto the past 13 months? Okay. So let's actually figure this out. I really genuinely want to figure this out. You get $50 and you're making 50% a week. That would have to be what odds are in your favor. Is there a better simple interest, compound interest, simple interest, compound, daily compound, forex compound? Let's see if there's a better compound interest calculator. Let me see. Hang on. There might be a better one. What did Grok say? I don't think the Supreme Court will fully strike down President Trump's tariff authority, but a complete unqualified victory for the administration seems unlikely either. The most probable outcome is partial or narrowed ruling in Trump's favor, upholding significant presidential. Aha! See, I have a Kelshi bet on this, and I believe I way more than. Let me actually check my odds. If I win my Kelshi bet, I'm not trying to promote this, so don't take this the wrong way. I'm just excited because we've had so much negativity in crypto. It's fun to actually like see something turn out. And what's nice about prediction markets is right away. You win or lose, you're done. You can either deposit more money, play again, or you've doubled your money and you can play some more. With crypto, you like just slowly bleeding out and it's freaking miserable. So Supreme Court, I bought 34% chance. I've paid $20, and if I win, I get $56. So I more than double my money. I think I triple my money. Yeah, it's about triple. So that's 300% just on one bet. Now that one takes a lot longer to play out, but Kalshi has odds for Bitcoin. Like, is Bitcoin going to close green today? So you can do those, and if you are right, then it's usually 50-50 odds. You double your money. So your 50 turns into 100, and then your 100 turns into 200, and your 200 turns into 400, and your 400 turns into 800. You know what I mean? Now you have to find 50-50 odds. If you don't bet on 50-50 odds, then you then could just bet on smaller, maybe like 25%. And you bet on the 75 side and you only get 25%. That's still a huge, that's a lot, dude. 25% gain in one bet? That's crazy. Ask Grok how Kalshi works. Actually, it's easy. It's quite easy. You can see it. I don't know if there's anything here that I can not. Hold on, let me just log out. Let's freaking log out. Can I change it to dark mode? I'm not gonna worry about it. Okay. So let me also make sure that it's not gonna pop up with any of my information. Okay, right here. So which party will win the U.S. House this year. If you wanted to bet yes at 77 cents that the Democratic Party will win, and you put $100 down, you would win about 30%. Odds are 77, so your payout is $130. If you bet no $100, then you get about a 400% return. I guess 300% return would technically be, because you're getting $417. So basically, you buy yes at 77 cents. If you win, you get paid out at $1 each. So if you buy 100 of these at $1, cost you $77, you get $100. If you buy 100 of these, it costs you $24, and you get $100. Does that make sense? That's how Kalshi works. JJ, we in trouble? I think we've determined that already. Trump dumping us. Talk about risky gambling. Oh, it is 100% gambling, for sure. It's Kwame said, I just put 50 on 93 or above tomorrow at 5. There you go. We got 16 people watching, guys. Don't forget to smash the like button. I appreciate you guys for being here. We live stream every single day. It's a ton of fun. Sometimes it's nonsense like this. Sometimes it's a little spicy. Sometimes it's kind of stupid. But it's always fun, which is subjective. I asked you guys 48 minutes ago, what do you think caused this dump? NASDAQ gapping down, aliens, tariffs / Greenland junk, or something else crazy? I don't even know, man. 11% of you guys said NASDAQ. 33% of you guys said aliens. 50% of you guys said tariffs / Greenland. And 6% of you guys said something else crazy. I don't even know, man. X316, or I'm sorry, X221, John said, Trump dumping on us. I'm cashing out. We are going down. J Shear 2.0 said, you got to look into prediction market arbitrage, LOL. Dang, don't tell me that. Don't tell me that, man. I'm already having too much fun with it. All right. Current status of the case. As of January 18th, the Supreme Court has not issued a ruling in the key challenge to Trump's tariffs. Consolidated under cases like Learning Resources, Inc. versus Trump. Oral arguments occurred on November 5th, and decision is expected by the end of June, possibly sooner. Lower courts find does not authorize sweeping reciprocal or global tariffs not directly tied to specific emergencies. The court's unusual delay is in releasing opinions in this term. First merits decision only recently on a minor case has fueled speculation that it's grappling with a divided or complex majority in this high-stakes matter. Why a full uphold is unlikely. Oral arguments revealed skepticism. Major questions doctrine, whether trade deficits or general imbalances qualify as emergencies. That's the problem, is that's so subjective. Historical statutory interpretation, pressing on lack of precedent for broad tariff authority. Market-based predictions and some analysis reflect doubt about unrestricted authority. Why a significant win for Trump is likely. The court's 6-3 conservative majority has historically shown deference to executive power in foreign affairs and national security. Core justifications for many Trump tariffs, including Arctic / Greenland related ones against China-Russia influence, delay in the opinion, are interpreted by some experts as signaling efforts to craft a majority opinion favoring the administration. Trump advisors express confidence the court won't overturn tariffs as a signature economic policy, even if IEEPA is curtailed for non-emergency use. Fallbacks like Section 232 remain broadly differential and could sustain many actions, including targeted ones on Europe. A full strike down would trigger massive refunds and disrupt trade policy, which the court may avoid. In short, while the ruling could impose some constraints requiring genuine emergencies, I expect the court to preserve substantial tariff tools for the president, aligning with its pattern of deference in executive economic foreign policy powers. This would let most of Trump's agenda, including leverage tactics, proceed possibly via alternative statutes. Interesting. Do you think Bitcoin and altcoins are doomed and entering a proper 12-month long bear market where they'll lose majority of their market caps? Gourmet Brand said, ask Grok about the compounding equation you were trying to figure out using calcium methodology. Okay, so that would actually require Grok to know the outcome. So I will ask that. Okay, if I have a Calci account and I bet on odds that are 50-50 starting with $50, and I win every single bet, placing only one bet per week and every week for a full year, how much money would I have at the end of the full 12-month long year? Okay, let's see. Flexa said, F the courts, F the Fed, F the effing dump artists. Manipulation around a little thing, LOL. Yeah, dude, it got dumped pretty damn hard. 92, 675, and 95 cents. That pulse play, I want a pretty spiffy little trifle, though. Delicious. Let's see. What did Grok say back here? No, I don't think Bitcoin and altcoins are doomed or inevitably entering a deep 12-month bear market that wipes out the majority of their market caps. Crypto markets are inherently cyclical and volatile, but the current data as of mid-January 2026 and broader trends point to a more nuanced picture, likely a correction or consolidation phase rather than a catastrophic collapse. Current market snapshot, blah, blah, blah. Altcoins are mixed. Top ones like Ethereum and Solana are holding up or outperforming Bitcoin in spots, but the altcoin season index is low at 25, signaling Bitcoin dominance and relative alt underperformance, common in post-peak corrections. Why not doomed or majority wipeout? Crypto has survived multiple death cycles and emerged stronger due to increasing adoption. Key supportive factors in 2026 include institutional inflows via ETFs, maturing infrastructure, potentially favorable policies. A majority market cap loss of 50% from here would require Bitcoin dropping below 45 to 50K and alts far worse, possible in a severe bear, but not the base case based on current analysis. Outlooks for 2026 are split. Bearish voices cite cycle tops post-2024 halving peak in late 2025, weak demand in rebounds, and risk of deeper corrections to 35 to 45K. Bullish or neutral views emphasize improving liquidity, no extreme bear signals yet, and potential for continuation or new highs 100K plus. Many experts see 2026 as transitional. Volatility, yes, but not full-blown prolonged crash like prior bears. In short, expect choppiness and possible further downside. 20 to 40% corrections are normal. What are you talking about? 40%? We'll put it at freaking 35K, you dumbass. Especially if macro risks flare up. But doomed implies permanent irrelevance, which doesn't align with growing real-world utility, network effects, and historical reliance long-term trajectory. Okay, what are you talking about, bro? Are you good? 40% loss on Bitcoin would probably put it around 50, 60K, which is really bad. That's not great. Where and when do you think Bitcoin will bottom out? Let's just see. What the F is that, Wick? Yeah, it's pretty spicy, man. We got spicy. Flexa said, ramen and gambling. War life. Dude, I'm not gonna lie. I've been on a ramen kick. I bought this big bag. I'm so sorry if this is gross to you. I've been thoroughly enjoying it. I bought this big bag of meatballs. And I cook them in the air fryer. And then when they're done, I make a bowl of ramen and I put the meatballs in the ramen. And then I, with chopsticks, like a proper weeb, I eat the meatballs and then I eat the ramen. And it's freaking delicious. It's so good. I don't know why. It's the weirdest thing. I've also done it with chicken cordon bleu. And like I chop it up and I put it in the ramen. Putting stuff in your ramen makes the ramen, oh my, it makes the ramen so much better. It's so good. Highly recommend. Buy some kind of meat and just cook it and throw it in your ramen. And it could be like cheap, like Marjan Nissan ramen. It's delicious. Beef ramen sounds good right now. I like beef, I like chicken, and I like Oriental. Which I don't think they're allowed to call it that anymore. It's actually, I think it's called soy sauce now. Oriental was apparently offensive. I don't know, does Taco Bell just sell, like, they're not allowed to call it Mexican food anymore? What do they call it? They're like mildly southern food. Food close to the equator. Giovanni said, what the hell, man? Flexa said, I see people have ramen on toast. That sounds weird. You can add loads of things to noodles. You really can. I think the Italians were the first to figure that out. I'm Italian, in case you didn't know. Guys, don't forget to smash the like button. I appreciate you guys for being here. Bitcoin, 92,000. Wow. 92,500. I just had a Vietnam flashback. Silver, up 3.32%, $93.08. Let's go check on gold. I like hanging out with you guys. Gold up. This candle alone, 1.43%, $4,661. Spicy, spicy. Okay. Should we do Kalshi first? Let's do Kalshi results. You start with $50, place one bet per week for a full year on 50-50 odds, winning every time and reinvesting all winnings each week. In Kalshi terms, this means you're using your entire balance to buy winnings contracts at 50 cents each, ignoring fees for this hypothetical. Okay, so we are ignoring fees. So remember that. This is not 100% what would happen. But if you did do this, oh my God, you would have no way. Okay, this is not true. Am I crazy? Maybe the number was right. Okay, that number is too big. Okay, do it for 4 months instead of a year, just to see, because that's like a quadrillion dollars. That's what Dr. Evil said in Austin Powers. That's just too much money, man. No one's gonna win, like, you know, you're not gonna be at like $2 billion balance on Kalshi and then place a $2 billion bet. That's just stupid. Giovanni said, hold on though, you might be onto something. Oh, it's so good. Flexus said, as Slayer fan said, stop it, man. I can't. I won't be stopped. You stop it. We're degenerate gamblers, dude. I don't know what to tell you. Leave me alone. I told you guys I'm looking at copper, right? Okay, let's get back to the brass tacks. Bitcoin is currently trading around $95,000. I think the bottom of this post-peak correction. Price range of 60 to 75. Okay, we like 75. We do like 75. September, October, that correlates with this thing. Is Grok just this guy? Is this Grok? Wouldn't that be trippy? So this dude posted CME filled, at least, right? I hope so. Yeah, maybe in September, October, November. This guy posted on December 12th, 2023, that Bitcoin was going to top out on October 6th, 2025. And no joke, that is exactly what happened. We topped out at like 126K on October 6th, 2025. The following 364 days is supposed to be the bear market, according to the 4-year cycle. And that's the way that it's played out every time, apparently, according to all these people and all these predictions. So we're looking at September, October, which perfectly correlates with what Grok just said. September, October timeframe. Historical Bitcoin cycles typically see peaks 12 to 18 months after the halving. Many on-chain technical analysts currently view the ongoing bounce up 20%, blah, blah, blah. So they're talking about last, 2021 bull market, same thing. Why this price range? Drawdowns have moderated over time, 85% in 2018, 77% in 2022. From 125, a 50 to 60% drop, milder due to institutional ETF support, points to 50 to 75K. This zone overlaps frequently cited supports, realized price estimates, blah, blah, blah. I don't expect an extreme crash to 25 to 35, as some fearmonger. Maturing market dynamics should provide a higher floor than past cycles. Caveats and upside risks. This is a reasoned guess based on cycles and current data. Crypto is volatile, and black swans, macro recession, regulation could accelerate, deepen it, while strong institutional buy or policy tailwinds could shallow it out entirely. Many analysts are split, with some calling for no deep bear and new highs in 2026 instead. Long term, I'm bullish. Bottoms like this have historically been generational buying opportunities. This isn't financial advice. Do your own research and manage risk. Okay, so what do I want to ask next? I was thinking of it while I was reading this. 125, blah, blah, blah. Okay, if Bitcoin is following the traditional 4-year cycle, why didn't we see a proper blow off top, euphoria, or any all-time highs for a good 99% of altcoins? Let's see. Oh, I was talking about the meatball ramen. Dude, it's so good. I promise it's really good. It's not like Italian meatballs. It's like flame broiled, just regular ass, I don't know, what do you call not Italian meatballs? They're weird. They're weird meatballs. Giovanni said CME filled, at least right. I mean, if this is a bear market, we're chilling ATP. So here's my thing. During 2021 to 2022, I stayed put, you know. I dollar cost average, I accumulated, and no joke, 2022 to 2023, maybe even 2024, I made more money during that period than I had in my entire life. The bear market, like coming out of the bear market as an investor, has been the most lucrative thing I've ever experienced. So like bull market's fun, which I'm sure I would have made more money if we would have had a proper bull market, but just coming out of the bear market is so incredibly lucrative. Not to mention we're about to get like proper quantitative easing and all that stuff, so that might accelerate the timeline here, which would be awesome. But if it doesn't, all that liquidity is still going to be available. You know, it's not going anywhere. Bitcoin is broadly following a traditional 4-year halving cycle. The starkest deviation is the near absence of a broad alt season, where altcoins historically outperformed Bitcoin drastically and hit new all-time highs in mass. As of January 2026, Bitcoin dominance remains elevated at 57 to 60%. Bitcoin signaling prolonged Bitcoin strength and no sustained alt rotation. Your 99% figure is hyperbolic, but directionally accurate. The vast majority of altcoins did not reach new all-time highs in 2025, with only pockets, some meme coins, AI tokens like MYX, or brief runs in Solana, Ethereum, seeing significant gains, often short-lived 20 days. Why no classic alt-season euphoria in alts? Institutional capital concentrated in Bitcoin. Spot Bitcoin ETFs launched in 2024 funneled billions in inflows directly to Bitcoin, bypassing altcoins. Institutions prefer Bitcoin's perceived safety, liquidity, and regulatory clarity, treating it as a digital gold rather than rotating into riskier alts. Market maturation and less retail speculation. Past cycles, 2017-2021, were fueled by retail frenzy, leverage, and hype. 2025 saw more professional money, higher scrutiny, and muted euphoria overall. Thousands of new altcoins diluted liquidity, preventing broad rallies. Macro and trading dynamics. Higher interest rates, lower volumes versus prior cycles, and quick collapses in alt rallies discouraged sustained momentum. Bitcoin absorbed liquidity first with no strong rotation trigger. Many analysts now call the classic broad alt season dead or permanently altered. Future outperformance will be selective. Quality projects in sectors like AI, DeFi, L2s rather than everything pumping. Sentiment on X is split. Some hype a delayed alt season 2026 during the next leg or bear rally. Others see it as quieter and pickier. Cycles aren't broken, they adapt. This one was Bitcoin's super cycle phase. with alts likely needing more time or a dominance break for rotation long term. Surviving alts could still benefit from the market as the market grows. I mean, that to me just means altcoins are dead. That to me basically just means altcoins are dead. Why would anyone buy them at that point? Sell me this pen, Grok. Okay, starting with $50. Holy shit. Okay. After 4 months, 17 to 18 weeks, so $50 compounding, 50-50 odds on Kalshi. Wow. This is going to be the new compound interest challenge, the compound trading challenge. We're going to do Kalshi. We're going to do it in the Discord. If you guys haven't already, join. It's completely free. It's linked down below. Ton of fun. We are going to do a compound Kalshi challenge. We're going to be very, very strategic because we don't have to have a timeline. All we need to do is make 17 to 18 successful trades at 50-50 odds, and we will have $6.5 million. That's insane. So after 17, yeah, here's the 17. After 17 weeks, is that real? That doesn't make any sense. $50 times 131K. Oh no, that's just a calculation. Yeah, we'd have, I'm so confused. If using 18 weeks, so we'd have $6.5 million? Is that real? This is still exponential growth, turning $50 into millions in 4 months with perfect wins, though of course realistically impossible due to risk, fees, and market limits. What if you okay, add fees into the calculation. Let's see what fees do. Flexa said, put gloves on, picks up pens, stabs assistant in neck, tells JJ it's got your prints on it. How much you want to buy it for? Damn. That's crazy. My favorite is that stupid meme that we saw earlier. Let me see if it's still here. Let's sell me this pen meme right here. Sell me this pen. Jim Cramer's bearish on it. It's so good. It's so real. Man, Bitcoin's really getting shafted, isn't it? Okay. All right. To me, that basically just means altcoins are dead. No, altcoins aren't dead as a category, though a huge portion, likely 90+% of them effectively are, or will be, as low utility hype-driven projects fade into irrelevance. The market has matured. Broad, indiscriminate alt season mania like 2017 or 2021 is unlikely to return in the same form due to institutional Bitcoin. That doesn't make any sense to me. Like, genuinely, why wouldn't people speculate the same way that they did back then? Why people still buy altcoins? Investors allocate to them for targeted reasons in this environment. Asymmetry, upside potential. 10 to 100x if they capture narratives like AI, RWA. See, none of them are doing that, though. That's what really kind of makes me believe that this is wrong. Real utility and adoption. Top altcoins power active ecosystems. Ethereum for smart contracts. DeFi. Solana for high-speed apps. BNB and XRP for payments and exchanges. Growing user metrics, upgrades, ETH scaling, or institutional interest drive value independently of Bitcoin hype. Diversification and cycle rotation. Many analysts expect eventual capital rotation as Bitcoin consolidates or hits resistance. Potentially mid-2026 if liquidity improves or dominance cracks. Early 2026 shows mixed signals. Some alts surge after Bitcoin breaks key levels, but rallies remain short-lived so far. Lower entry point now, with many alts down significantly from 2025 peaks. What do you mean 2025 peaks? There were no peaks in 2025. And sentiment low. It creates accumulation opportunities for patient holders. That said, the bar is higher now. Success is selective, not blanket. Most buyers focus on quality over quantity, treating alts as high-risk bets rather than, I mean, they should have been treated that way the entire time, to be honest, rather than guaranteed pumps. If you're purely chasing euphoria, yeah, that era feels over. But for utility-driven growth in a maturing market, plenty still see value. This isn't financial advice. Crypto remains volatile. So crypto basically became the stock market, and it's boring and stupid, and everybody hates it. That's basically what I got out of that entire conversation. Thanks, Grok. All right, let's see what the other one is. Kalshi does not charge trading commission or fees on buying, holding to resolution, or settling contracts. Deposits and withdrawals via ACH are also free. What? Since the scenario involves reinvesting winnings within the platform, no withdrawals, and holding positions to expiry each week, fees do not apply and would reduce your returns. That would reduce your returns. Okay, for 4 months, blah, blah, blah. So you still have 6.5 million. This assumes you can always find true 50-50 markets priced exactly at 50 cents, no bid-ask spread, eating into returns with sufficient liquidity for your growing position size. And you win every time, which is hypothetically fun, but realistically impossible. In practice, spreads, liquidity limits, and risk would prevent this kind of streak and compounding. Challenge accepted. I accept your challenge, Grok. Guys, I'm going to turn $50 into $6.5 million. That's not true. I'm going to turn $50 into like a couple hundred K. And then I'm going to probably cash out and buy a house. What I'm going to do. But I'm going to do it. And you guys are going to watch me do it. I will publicize my entire, like I'm fully leaning into this. We are doing a compound trading challenge with Kalshi. I'm going to start today. Unless there's no trade to be made today, but I'm at least going to deposit the $50 that I'm going to use into Kalshi, and we're going to start that part today, and hopefully win my first bet. But I think we're going to call it. Silver's up tremendously. Gold is up tremendously. Market's going to shake up tomorrow. Market's going to shake up Tuesday, so be prepared. We're going to be here every step of the way for you guys. Subscribe if you're new. Appreciate you guys for being here. Smash the like button. I think that's it. As always, if the market starts to do anything crazy, I will hop back on. Otherwise, I will see you all tomorrow. I appreciate you guys for sticking around. Don't forget to smash the like button on your way out. Subscribe if you're new. Happy Sunday, and good night.